aka Trigger Ranking. Um, just about to come in here and do a couple of reactions, man. Just chilling tonight. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Um, know y'all about to eat good today. Everybody gonna eat good today. So yeah, man. So first and foremost, when y'all coming in, y'all hit the like button, subscribe. Also, tell me where you coming from. If you want to support the channel, everything is in my description at the top. Y'all want to follow me on other platforms? That's also at the top of my page in my description area. So, with that being said, let's get to it. Let's see.
Akash would not be enjoying his Thanksgiving tomorrow. That turkey gonna taste a little funny after Akash hears what Corey Holcomb have to say about him and his wife. This story making it to Corey Holcomb's desk is a real testament to how viral and how far Akash Singh's wife acts of terrorism towards him has really gone. Like Corey Holcomb and Akash are both comedians, but they serve two different demographics on opposite sectors of the internet. Explaining to Corey Holcomb that Akash Singh has a wife that he provides for, pays all her bills, buys her nice things, bought her a home, but yet she chose to disrespect him online. She chose to gloat about how she wants to sleep with other men. She chose to brag about how she uses him for money. Explaining that to Corey Holcomb, that Akash is tolerating that, is like
check it out,
explaining to a
y'all.
Homo erectus that we have animals as.
If you got a woman like that that's not respecting you, run. Run for your life. I'm telling you, run. It's not even worth it. It's always somebody out here for everybody. Everybody has a match in this world. And that's simple, but you don't have to put up with something that, is not making you happy. If you're not happy, just leave. I mean, that would be the smartest thing in my book to do. Just get out of the situation.
Pets. They'll look at us like, what? Y'all don't eat them? Like, why would you have a pet? Like, why would you want to feed this animal, take care of this animal, raise this animal when it does nothing for you, right? That's like explaining to Corey Holcomb, who's like a real country black uncle. Explain to him that you have a wife that you take care of who disrespect you online and you're fine with it. It's like another world that Corey Holcomb can't even fathom exists. Corey Holcomb was talking about Akash, how cavemen was talking about fire. Corey Holcomb couldn't even believe that men like Akash were really out here and existed.
Thursday, we gathered together for an NFL on CBS Thanksgiving feast featuring
We are against the war.
I can only imagine what Corey Holcomb finna say. I know this gonna be out of this world. I already know.
All, ladies and gentlemen, and unless we have the courage to talk about these things, we will be caught off guard. There's a comedian who doesn't have the information that I can have provided him with. And Darlene, his life is in shambles. There's a comedian.
If you hear that and you think that Corey Holcomb is being dramatic, then
His life is in shambles.
you probably haven't been tapped in or focused on this Akash drama. What Corey Holcomb is saying is 100% true. This woman that Akash has chosen to marry, Jasleen, she has been terrorizing Akash, right? And it started way before the internet. Way before the internet. Akash would literally hit himself because he would get so frustrated dealing with Jasleen.
Didn't have any tools. Our fights would get crazy. Like, I am very calm with her until I'm not, and then it's hard for me to cap in.
0 to 100 in a second.
0 to 100.
0 to 0 for 10 days and then...
She never felt unsafe like I would hit her.
Sure.
But like, I hit myself a couple of times, like a maniac, and like, that's not gonna make you feel safe either.
No.
So it was a lot of therapy. As soon as we got together, I've been thinking about therapy for a while. And I realized I love this girl, and I didn't even think I knew how much until therapy. But like I was like, yeah, I love this girl. This girl I want to make it work with. I can't let this get in the way. So I started therapy 2016, I think, and it didn't even really take hold.
2016.
2019, and then 2021. I felt like whatever. 2024, 2025. I'm feeling more and more like it's just one of my therapists, a couples therapist we had said, all therapy is trying to get your emotions into words.
What up? What up?
Corey Holcomb is right. This is a crisis.
Lady Sprinkles. Sparklers, Sprinkles.
Who are highly
What's up?
successful in their fields should not be taking care of a woman who is making them hit themselves and go to therapy because they're so frustrated. As a man, you should be able to make all that money, be that successful, and find a woman who compliments your life everywhere. She shouldn't be making you this frustrated, bruh. And then you pair up that frustration that she put you through, pair that up with an obscene amount of embarrassment online that has spilled over into how people view you. Because we look at you, man, your wife don't respect you. Your wife is online.
Yeah, you gotta be respected by your significant other. If your significant other don't respect you, it's a waste of time. It's something that shouldn't even be tolerated. Like, see, I'm low tolerance. Like the first time I see some bullshit, I'm out the door. I'm not hanging around to I'm not no pain freak. I just want somebody who want me. That's pretty much it, bro. Like, I'm not trying to force myself on nobody, none of that kind of shit. So I don't know what these folks talking about. I don't know. They're trying to be funny.
Her friend on a podcast that she wants to have an orgy with her husband. Your wife sat in front of you on a podcast and told you that your homie got a 10
All I can say is 6'7", because I don't know what the hell they talking about.
inch peen that she wants to experience one day. Bruh, like, this is a travesty. This is not normal. This is not okay.
Hold on, we gotta run that back. What she
Oh,
said?
man. Bruh, like, this is a travesty. This is how people view you. Because we look at you, man, your wife don't respect you. Your wife is online telling her friend on a podcast that she wants to have an orgy with her husband. Your wife sat in front of you on a podcast and told you that your homie got a 10-inch peen that she wants to experience one day.
Go hug your mama's shadow, nigga. Go hug your mama's shadow.
Enjoy being a housemaid.
Why don't you grab a place that enjoys?
Bruh, like, this is a travesty. This is not normal. This is not okay. A man that rich and that successful shouldn't be dealing with this, bruh.
You know what this guy does? Akash Singh. You know what he does? He sits in the audience because he doesn't have any material. Like a lot of these internet influenced comedians don't have jokes. He sits in the audience and he talks about you and your relationship. Okay? You got that so far?
Yeah.
Well, this guy's married. And he used to brag on how his wife was a virgin. First of all, any man.
Come on now. Come on, dog. I'm wondering how old he was when he got married. So his wife was a virgin. Do y'all really believe this shit?
Who tells you that his wife is a virgin? That is an autistic man.
Here we go.
Any man with the courage to tell you.
Brad didn't say he was artistic. He said he was autistic. This is crazy.
His wife is a virgin.
What's
and
up?
He
What's
didn't
up?
grow up with her in the Garden of Eden.
Where you tapping in from?
That is an autistic man. And this is something the people that know him
Bro
have
said
not
he
told him.
autistic.
They laugh and smirk with him.
I knew Akash desperately needed some real homies in his corner when I watched the Fighter and the Kid podcast with Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen. They spent the entire podcast defending how y'all shouldn't be so hard on Akash. But the moment that they were
Okay, shout out Tennessee, man. Shout out Tennessee, bro. I've been to Tennessee before. I've been to Nashville. Like, getting to Nashville, you got to go through all the other little spots. I rode through. I guess it was called Lookout Mountain. I went to Chattanooga, and it was a whole. Y'all got a whole bunch of little small towns with some crazy ass names. Like, I'm like, where am I at? Like,
reacting to what the wife was doing, there was a split second where they looked at
but yeah, Nashville, man. I had a ball in Nashville, man. Nashville is like, I probably would actually live in Nashville if I could like live in the downtown area. Shit, I would definitely do that. You used to the sticks, yeah, man.
at each other with smirks on their faces.
I
and they
pretty
couldn't
much
find
been in
out.
everywhere I done lived for the most part. It's kind of like mostly like big city. I'm from Florida, so I'm from one of the biggest cities in the world, Jacksonville, Florida. Um, I'm talking about per square miles, not people. Per square miles, the size of it. One of the biggest cities. Um, I live in Atlanta now. Yep. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hey, all y'all hit the like button, man. They help the algorithm, man.
Once I seen that, I said, yeah, bro, like y'all all fake, bro. Like y'all all are laughing behind this man's back,
I'm doing good.
but not telling him the real. Which is why Akash was out here bragging upon his wife being a pure virgin until she got that podcast and let the world know she's the furthest thing from pure.
If you're mad,
Hold on. Yeah, I've been to New York. I love New York and I love LA. Um, it was cool. I mean, I just went out there. I mean, shit, New York, they showed me love. I was like, damn. I was like, they showed me some love in New York. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I love New York though. New York was fire. And one thing I will say about New York, the clothes is dirt fucking cheap, bro. I went inside Macy's, the biggest Macy's in the world. Man, I'm talking about I came out of Macy's with that. It looked like I had trash bags. I had so much fucking clothes and shit, bro. And I ain't even spend that much, bro. But no, so I think why everything was basically on sale. It was Mother's Day weekend, so I think that's why everything was pretty much on sale. But like I said, man, I cleared out the store in New York. Let me see. Oh, okay, we got a clown in here. Hold on, we got a clown in here.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Congratulations, you played yourself, sir. Fuck off the goddamn stream, bitch. Go hug your shadow, punk ass bitch. Yeah, man, we be having some clowns coming here with some
is weird
lame
about
ass shit.
periods, that's a red flag. Break up with him immediately, no pun intended, because when I was in college, I dated this guy, he didn't want to fool around when I was on like the heaviest days of my period. Okay, totally understandable, I get that. And I was like, oh great, good news, my period ended, like we can like have fun tonight, blah blah. And he was going down on me. And like wouldn't you know it, I was still spotting. And also if you're like poking around down there, like more blood can sometimes come out even if your period is over. But I swear to God, like I thought.
Bruh, she is wilding, bruh. She talking about somebody ate her out and she still was bleeding, bro. What the fuck is going on, bro?
Nosy little helper. With Chewy, shop holiday and save up to 50%. Gifts he'll love to sniff out. Prices, you'll love
Oh
to
yeah,
see.
I ain't, you know,
Sometimes
I ain't really mad at that, bro. I just, you know what I'm saying? Just, some people just be clownish, bro. Like, I mean, some nights I be all for it. I'd be like, man, come on with that bullshit. But I don't feel like that shit tonight. For real, bro.
now, even if your period is over, like I swear to God, like I got.
That's how I know she don't love Akash. Because as a woman, when you look at how your man's peers and his coworkers and his friends, when you look at how they're viewing him based on your actions, you can't possibly feel good that they're looking at each other and smirking behind his back. And they're only smirking because Akash was telling them for years how this woman was such a pure virgin, how he lucked up. He can't believe he found a woman who was so holy and so pure. Only for her to start a podcast voluntarily, by the way, because she didn't need the money. All her bills is paid for. Well, starting a podcast and ruining your man's legacy within a week, it's absurd.
See, this guy is not part of our demo, but his story is so needed to be said. I'm bringing it up.
So she fibbed that whole time and then hit him with the whammy? Like,
He married a bottom dweller and held her up to be a thing of purity.
And so he held her up like baby Simba. Like, now they looking at him like, boy, sit your ass down somewhere. Yeah, that bitch ain't all that you got. Yeah, she trash. Damn, she ain't had the podcast 3 weeks yet, and she basically destroying how people look at her, like her husband, and then he parading around here talking about she a fucking virgin. Man, that bitch for the streets.
you said she was getting bukakis.
Yeah.
Let's say my role.
She brags on
Appreciate it,
She's
bro.
never kissed him in public and stands on it. Even at their wedding.
Wait, what?
Darlene is bad.
Oh, well.
It's bad.
We gotta cut Akash some slack here, man, okay? Hey, he didn't go out that bad now. He went out bad. He didn't go out that bad, bruh. Okay? It was not his wedding, okay? It was his engagement she refused to kiss him at. But to be fair, we haven't seen any videos of the wedding. We haven't seen their actual kiss at the wedding. All right? all right?
Let's say she ain't even kissed him, nigga. Right, so, bro, you gotta be a sucker, bro. If you get engaged to a girl and she don't even give you a kiss, bro, like, bro, you gotta be a super simp out here, bro. I don't know, you know. Body language speaks louder than words sometimes. A lot of people don't understand that. That's why with me, I can hold my tongue, but it's just my facial expressions when, like, the way I be looking. Hey, what's up? Yeah, but the way I be looking, that's really what it is, bro. Like, I ain't gotta say nothing. You just look at me and know I'm
Corey
pissed.
Holcomb painted Akash to his audience. It's like, bro, it's like, for Akash, when you don't have representatives in certain sectors of the internet, and your representative is how the person is talking about you, it's almost difficult to recover, bro. How do Akash defeat the Akash name? How do you defeat it? The internet has already wrote it up. I think Akash will only be bound from this, bro, by leaving that chick, man. Right?
Yeah, you need to leave her ASAP, bro. You need to get away from that. Because if he don't, she going to continue making a fool of him for the rest of their life. As long as he stay with her, the more she going to make a fool out of him. So, hey. Word to the wise, young man. Please, get away from that lady. She ain't worth it. She for the streets. These niggas true.
Kicking her to the curb.
Would you rather jump out of a plane than shop for health insurance?
Call Health Markets today. Old Spice Fiji deodorant smells like coconuts and palm trees, and it's gentle on my skin.
Fiji deodorant. Fiji deodorant.
But do her so crazy, she come online in tears. Yo, that chick gotta come online, bro, crying tears of blood. Oh my God, he left me. He left me. And you know she's gonna take half those divorce, but you gotta make it so hard for her, bro. She gotta be in the homeless shelter for the 6 to 12 months it takes for that divorce to be finalized, bro.
For real.
Just to give yourself some pride and dignity again. Put her back in the homeless shelter, bro. Because the way she talking like she gonna take you for everything. To the people who want us to get divorced, bad news, we ain't signed a prenup.
Oh yeah, and
It's like she's running.
this fool didn't sign a prenup. That's cool.
It's like she's bragging about sticking it, as if y'all not having a prenup is sticking it to us. Because she understands what the game is. She understands that people is upset. That
You want to donate to the channel?
She's not humble. She's entitled. And women like her deserve nothing. But she has it all because of you.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
So to really get your dignity back, man, you gotta send her to the homeless shelter for a couple months, man. As that divorce get finalized. Give her nothing, man. Not even a water bill should be paid.
It's bad. But people will tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Bro, these dudes so funny, bro. Like, bro, so I'm dressed up, bro. These my play clothes, bro. These play clothes I got on, bro. The fuck?
That's bad. Like this. Yeah, he act like he telling me and all like that. Listen.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap right now, man. Stop the cap.
Most wicked bitch in the world. If you listen to her speak, I'm talking about this.
And they're still married.
Oshkosh Bagash type.
Bro, you woke up and do this shit?
Akash
Singh.
And they're still married.
I invite you to
take your head to sleep, my nigga.
Sir, because see, a man like this is the enemy of all things logical. All things logical. The situation he is in with a bust down. A woman who set the monkey out across the galaxy. There's her. People talk about, oh, they're so cute a couple. He gave her a ring so big on video. That's all she could talk about was the ring. Still didn't kiss him in the mouth.
Oh my goodness.
Damn.
Look at her looking away on every
That's sad.
kiss.
Oh, well, so if she hasn't even kissed him in the mouth, you know
That's sad, bro.
what?
She ain't kissed this
Me
nigga.
too. I was like, oh, she's
He ain't
getting out.
never skeeted on her tonsil and made her go.
Corey Holcomb, stupid. This man, bro.
I bring these stories up because people say, Corey, you too extreme. Old girl and him are extreme. He's a sucker for the game. She brags about how she was in college and the Caucasian males ran through her.
Wow.
And he was calling her a virgin.
Yeah, bro. Bro. This is ridiculous, bro. This is hard to even fathom, bro. That somebody this damn stupid.
Look at him. I would debate him, but I wouldn't be caught hanging with a man like that. Because a man like that is going to bring you down, and he's going to bring a woman that
gonna bring you down,
and expect you to respect her.
Corey Holcomb ain't wrong. We've seen when Akash and Andrew Schultz got into one of their first fights on camera. What was it about? His then girlfriend, now wife Jasmine, did something very disrespectful. They knew they were going to be filming at that time. She knew they needed the computer to film.
And see, sometimes people put you in a position where They want you to crash out on camera, so like that's what she doing to him. Watch.
She was sitting on their computer doing homework, delaying their filming time. Andrew got tired of it and said, "Hey, bruh, we gotta film." She stormed out, closed all the doors, went home, left Akash at the studio, took the car. And Akash felt like Andrew should have catered to her more, since that's his girlfriend. And Andrew should want to make him look good or make him look like the boss in the room. Man, come on, man. This is just, this is sick, man.
She for the streets.
This story is.
She for the streets, my nigga.
You are watching a master at work.
Spreading like wildfire, and it's spreading so fast. And it's taking legs of its own. The story has been going on for about a week now, which for the most part, when it comes to a particular trending story or internet lore, a week for a story is wild. But it's been going on for a week now. Now, it's unclear when exactly it's going to stop, all right? Or when exactly, like, Akash will finally put an end to this. I think all Akash really got to do to put an end to this is speak on it. If Akash goes on Slavery right now and speak on it and say, you know what, man, y'all was right. She was wilding. That podcast is over with and it's done. No more. Because they used to put out episodes frequently. Jaslene's pop. We didn't get an episode from Jasleen. It's going about 16 days now. Where the podcast at? Where the podcast at, Jasleen? So it looks like Akash is putting his foot down somehow, but he got to come out and really speak on it and let the world know he ain't no sucker. Because the way Jasleen is moving, man, we starting to think he a sucker, man. Sitting in front of you and telling you, yo, she want to orgy with your homie. Oh, nah, man. Oh, nah, bro.
No backbone.
All the other stuff we could probably ignore.
No backbone.
All the other stuff, her getting ran through at the white boy frat parties, all right, cool. But her sitting in front of you, looking you in your eyes as your homie is next to you and telling you she want an orgy with your homie because she thinks he has a 10-inch pipe. Now, cut it out, man. Cut it out, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section, man. What do you guys think, bro? All right, y'all think we all being too hard on Akash? All right, or how do you?
Y'all check out Flacco, man. We going to Most Scandalous Los Angeles TV.
For the most comfortable, luxurious, eco-friendly, and affordable, handcrafted American.
Period. I think the only stipulation I put on it was you.
So again,
He changed it in the movie. He told you that the movie was just the Hollywood effect. Like they do what they do to sell what you call it. Okay.
I wonder why they changed the name in the movie though.
It's notice. I won't say it again. There's only two people there will change. Reggie right there wouldn't change.
So this video right here is whack lies about everything for an hour.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Today, we finally get to hear Porky speak on something we've all been waiting for. His explanation for why his name was changed in Greg Kading's movie. As expected, Porky plays it off like he has no idea what's going on, acting completely oblivious. The person sitting next to him on that very panel is none other than Reggie Wright, the same Reggie who originally pointed out that Porky's name was changed in the film. Reggie made it crystal clear that his name, Reggie Wright, wasn't changed. That small detail speaks volumes, because Reggie's implying that the only names that were changed in the movie were the ones tied to cooperation, Stutterbox, and CS2 Back. You can read between the lines. The suggestion is clear. Names were only altered to protect informants. Salute to Reggie for even asking Porky this question. Now watch closely as Porky tries to spin it, dancing around the truth, downplaying the implication, and pretending like it's all some big misunderstanding. Keep your ears open. This part says more than he thinks.
Gene changed his name in the movie. Okay. Yeah. Gene. No, I know it. He said Greg, but I said Greg, but I don't want to answer the question. But I don't want to answer the question. But I don't want to answer the question.
Reggie is saying he doesn't want to ask him that question because he's the one who told us Porky's name was changed in the first place.
Damn.
Reggie said he didn't want to ask that question. But trust me, if he didn't want to ask it, he wouldn't have asked it. This is how you know Reggie has had enough of good old Porky.
Who's that? He said, Greg, why did Greg change your name in the movie? Is what he's asking. He don't know. They changed everybody's name in the movie. He don't
They
know.
changed everybody's name. Stutterbox's name was Stutterbox.
He don't know. They changed everybody's name in the movie.
Did you see the confused look on Porky's face? Like he had no clue what was going on? Watch how Reggie just sits there and lets him lie and look stupid before finally coming in and correcting him.
Nigga, the dude that played Uncle Jerome, who pulled up in a Rolls Royce at the donut shop, is Stutterbox. It's Stutterbox, yeah. They changed everybody.
Nah, in the documentary, it was Stutterbox.
Whenever Porky finds himself in a pickle, the first thing he does is scream Stutterbox. Crazy part about that is there were only two people's names that were changed, Porky's and Stutterbox. How convenient for Porky to perfectly call out the one other person whose name was changed. Teresa Swan's name being changed from Tammy Hawkins isn't quite the same, because sometimes she actually goes by that name. That's the name Greg Kading used when he was speaking about her on Vlad TV. But Stutterbox has never, ever went by the name Percy Locke. And Porky has never went by the name Alonzo Zoe Scott.
Damn, son. You don't see me doing nothing but driving the truck, dude.
Wait, for tires, you used to really rub me the wrong way. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack's tire decision guy.
Standing in the back of the truck telling them, and really they were straight stud magazines. That's what it was. Me and Case Lay had the magazine together. Like, the magazines, bro, what you looking for? I don't know. They changed some people's name and then they didn't change some. But to Wax's point is he had nothing on that case.
Reggie is trying to help Porky get out of the trap that he himself set for him, but to no avail. Stutterbox told Greg Kading that Porky had weapons in his home, which makes sense now, being that Porky has went online bragging about selling guns to Crips. So
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Yesterday I had to come see to get their tools, bro. Who gave you all the whack? Crip niggas gotta come see me. Them same niggas you talking about when they went to war, yesterday I had to come see to get their tools, bro. Who gave you all the whack? Crip niggas gotta come see me. You know what I'm saying? You know they go to war with each other, so I don't fuck them bitches kill each other all day long. You know what I'm saying? Be crip on crip shit. Be crip on crip shit.
He's even claimed to have supplied entire neighborhoods.
They know who they is. So you giving Keyways gun? Oh, well, yeah, nigga, what is whole neighborhoods? I can go there. What is whole neighborhoods? I can go there. What is whole neighborhoods? I can go there.
So when law enforcement showed up at his house with a search warrant, looking specifically for firearms, and actually found them, suddenly, Box's tip doesn't seem so far-fetched.
It's a nigga police, bro.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Yeah, them niggas police, bro.
What makes this even more damning is the timing. Porky was already in the middle of fighting a felon in possession case in Texas, one that was later dismissed in the interest of justice, a phrase often used when someone has offered their cooperation in return. But at the time of the raid, he was still vulnerable, and the feds were looking for exactly that: leverage. They wanted something solid to hold over his head, something they could use to get him to flip on Marion Knight. And finding illegal firearms in the home of a convicted felon fighting a gun charge, that's exactly the kind of pressure they needed. That's why he was arrested.
There were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
It wasn't random.
So McElroy got arrested.
And it wasn't about living above his means, like Porky once claimed. It was a calculated move by the feds, designed to tighten the screws just enough to make him talk.
He found the tractor. I was a person of interest. Yeah. I wasn't because the person I should be mad at that, about that, on that, should be Stutterbox. The guy you be up here defending, L.A.
Reggie said, I'm always defending Stutterbox. When did I do that? It's clear that just like Dupree and Kading, Reggie hates Stutterbox and protects Porky.
The guy you always defended is the one that lied on the man. L.A. sent his number, and I'll call him with Stutterbox on the phone, and Stutterbox will tell him.
You guys imagine me giving the federal informant CS2 back my phone number so he can call me on his wiretap hotline with Stutterbox on three-way, just to tell me what I already know.
Stutterbox, help me understand this, because me and you both know that whole case was your thing. What is Mark saying I had to do with the case, bro?
That's when Stutterbox.
Got it!
That's when Stutterbox basically told this nigga, bro, like, look, bro, like, nigga, you telling I help, bro.
Yo, yeah. What if you said I had to do with the case? Nigga, I was a target. My house got raided. My truck got
paperwork. Right, listen. In the paperwork, it said you tried to call dog. Remember? In the paperwork,
yeah, he tried to call dog.
Remember? In the paperwork, it said you tried to call dog. Remember?
I thought
he was gonna take your call. I said it.
I called the dog.
I talked to dog. See?
He wouldn't take your call.
Dog was telling too.
Mark tried to set the three-way up.
But they said he wouldn't talk. Yeah, and dog said he was cool. He didn't want to talk to you in the paperwork.
Dog already got a case, like a federal case. So basically, I guess he either trying to do the informant shit before he actually had to do his thing or whatever. But I know the motherfuckers telling him. I know that much.
In the paperwork.
So Box just told Porky that in the paperwork it says that he tried to call Del Dog, and Del Dog did not want to talk to him. When you read the paperwork, the person that Del Dog did not want to talk to was a guy named Back, who was labeled as confidential source number 2
Back, which
in
is
the
whack,
paperwork.
whack 100.
Not only that, but in the paperwork, it was Mark Stevens who was calling Dog asking him. Not only that, but in the paperwork it was Mark Stevens who was calling Dog asking him if it was okay to give back his number. So Stutterbox is telling Porky directly that he is CS2 Back. Why do I need to give Porky my number to tell me anything when I just heard what Stutterbox told him directly?
Garden Lights shines with new features and familiar themes for January 11th. Get tickets today.
Being a Midwest girly, you never know what the weather's going to give you this time of year. And with trick-or-treat being this week, we have to figure out these boys' costumes.
So look.
Yeah.
So look, y'all be careful who y'all be talking to on these phones, man, cause you can get implicated in some serious shit, bro. You can get yourself in some serious shit, bro, fucking around on these phones, bro.
Yeah, it's LA scandalous. That's what it is. You know, they build their channel. If they won't have a channel, they're not talking about me or you. Yeah. But I'm just addressing them, giving them an opportunity, to address their questions, because they'll never get us on their channel, But I try to get it, just to be transparent, because we don't give a fuck.
While Reggie was saying all that, Porky was still trying to find a way to wiggle out of the box that Reggie put him in. Listen to his next failed attempt.
The Poochie character, the Suge, Biggie, Puffy characters, the Stutterbox character. They changed Stutterbox, Teresa's. They didn't change my name in the motherfucker.
Okay, let me just tell you this. Just notice. I won't say it again. There's only 2 people radio change. Did you like that one, Jay?
About the cop dude who was fucking with Suge's wife or something. Oh, Kevin Gaines, yeah, that's his real name. Yeah,
Porky is over here searching for anybody else whose name might have been changed. I think he's finally beginning to understand that the movie he said he's watched over 1 million times was really the beginning of his demise. Now let's watch Porky go to his favorite deflect whenever the movie gets brought up.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they did it. All you gotta do is look at it. Nigga, the truck bomber played no. Everybody knew who it was supposedly you, so they just trying to be. But you know how they knew that, Red? I told them.
He said he told him, but stop lying, wait. You lying, bro.
Yeah. I'm the one told them. They only know
I'm the one told
I
him.
told them. Gotcha. I told them, go look in the book.
And then it is, folks, like clockwork. Every time you bring up the movie, Porky immediately tries to pivot to the book.
To the book.
The same book where Greg Kading went out of his way to paint Porky as some kind of hero. The same guy who's openly admitted to selling guns to entire neighborhoods. The same guy who bragged about putting weapons in the hands of Crips so they could kill each other. Yet somehow...
That sound like he... That nigga might be doing some work too, though.
In Kading's book, Porky is portrayed like a model citizen. Go figure. But let's not let him off the hook that easy. Let's stay with the movie. Specifically, let's talk about that truck scene Porky claimed he told us about. You know the one.
Jim and I have been tracking our trucker. He's made several trips to San Diego.
Which is on the border with Mexico if geography isn't your strong suit.
He's saying Mexico are forming class ships right kilos of cocaine.
So they thinking that they started tracking Wack. Somebody told them Wack, and they started tracking Wack. But Wack was goddamn working with I think K-Slade at the time, and him and K-Slade they had the magazine, and Wack used to ship the magazines on the West Coast.
That's something. That's not enough. Well, there's something else.
Every Tuesday at 2, Zoe makes a stop off his route.
We checked the address, but it's a vacant lot.
It sounds like a meetup spot.
That's what we were thinking. He could be dropping something off, picking something up, hard to tell.
That's how the police be in there, y'all. They be brainstorming in that motherfucker. I'm talking about that should be like this, but hey, they be going 100 miles per hour in that motherfucker. Probably about 10, 15 people in there. Everybody, their gears running in their head, bro. They trying to figure this shit out.
What's his location?
Legal officer. Just a little side hustle I got going.
Okay, what's your primary home?
Construction equipment. Here in San Diego. Y'all can take a few if you want.
We're good. Can't make this shit up. There's no way he's running drugs for sure.
That's the same scene Porky told all of us about. But what he didn't say, and what the writers of Greg Kading's movie conveniently left out, was the fact that while Porky was being pulled over on the road, federal agents were simultaneously raiding his house. They had a search warrant specifically looking for weapons, and they found them. But in the movie, they make it look like it was no big deal. Like Porky got pulled over, They didn't find any drugs, so they just let him go on his way. Clean and simple. But that's not the truth. It's a polished-up version of events designed to make him look like he walked away unscathed, untouched. And this is exactly why Stutterbox said the entire movie was a lie. Because the real story, the one left out of the script, is that Porky was a felon already fighting a gun case in Texas. And the raid on his home turned up more illegal firearms. That's not something they could just sweep under the rug.
So that's why I look like, yeah, you telling, bro.
Unless, of course, someone had a reason to protect him. So when you rewatch that scene,
you working for the feds.
Don't just focus on what they showed you. Pay attention to what they didn't. That's where the truth is hiding.
Okay, here. I need the Trevor report from last month, like right now. And I also need tired of.
Okay. You go pull the book up, you go to the murder rack, you go to the chapter study box, you see my pictures of my 30th birthday party, you see my name, real name, where you see study box, real name, where they saying study box put them on me. They followed me for 9 months, only to find I run a string of small businesses and was doing nothing illegal. Go pull up the book called Murder Rap, go to the chapter study box. You'll see my real name, my real face, pictures, study box name, Suge name, pictures of me and Suge. But see, they're not gonna go do that. You know why? Because it debunks the bullshit they say.
Exactly. No arrests made other than Cash Jones.
Your Texas gun case was dismissed by an interest of justice.
Here's what you gotta do, right?
Interest of justice, bro, is like, that's right. Basically, interest of justice. You gave them some information, bro.
You lie about that is what you want to know. So go ahead.
What do you mean? Okay, but see, I think what they missed in Reg was this. I only filed our motion. We stood on our motion. See, just because you strike a motion down, don't mean you walk away from the motion.
But I seen you spent about $30,000, $40,000 fighting this case. I remember you showing me something like that.
Did you catch that? Porky has been claiming he paid $390,000 for his Texas gun case. But Reggie just called him out, saying it was actually only $30,000.
$30,000.
To top it off, Reggie reminded him that he'd already shown him the documentation to prove it.
Okay.
Now, hold on. I'm about to fuck you up, Reg.
Okay.
I had 2 attorneys.
Okay.
I had my point attorney in Cali, which you know who this is, but I never told you it was, because I didn't trust Texas. So I went to my attorney in Cali, and he said, I'm a Jewish guy at Beverly Hills. They hang me.
They're not out there.
So what he did was found the top attorney in that area.
Okay.
My attorney here wrote everything. You know who that was, Reggie?
Who?
Jeffrey Brody.
Yeah, Brody. Yeah, I heard you talk about Brody before.
Jeff,
yeah.
Right? Jeffrey Brody was my attorney here. So he wrote up everything and he sent it there. And then he was a top attorney in that area. So that was like our face. But I trusted it because everything he was doing was by Brody's direction. So the whole time, all we had was one defense, illegal search and seizures in Trump.
Everything Porky is saying is for absolutely nothing. His case was dismissed in the interest of justice, not for illegal search and seizure. We already spoke to the Wheeler County Court. Thing Porky is saying is for absolutely nothing. His case was dismissed in the interest of justice, not for illegal search and seizure. Period. We already spoke to the Wheeler County Court clerk, Debbie Does Dallas McLaughlin.
Damn.
And she let us know exactly what dismissed in the interest of justice entails.
Which was denied.
No, he was dismissed.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about in 2011 or 2010, right?
Yes, 2011, yes.
And that was dismissed in the interest of justice.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut.
Damn. She said she gonna just keep her mouth shut.
Obviously, it's kind of suspicious. This isn't normal, but I'm just looking at it from the perspective of I done heard motion to dismiss for illegal search and seizure, violations of one's constitutional right, I'm quite sure if I got caught with a gun, that they wouldn't be telling me that this is for the interest of justice unless
She said exactly. So that means this nigga told y'all. The lady at the courthouse put the shit out, bro.
First two segments thus far. First, we found out that Porky was lying when he accused us of adding the word back to the paperwork. Then we found out Porky was lying when he said there was no CS2 back section in the paperwork. And that Deuce added that to the paperwork also. After that, Porky lied again and said the paperwork said CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. That's 3 lies, Porky told us, all surrounding the same paperwork. Here we are today, and we hear Porky lying about his case being dismissed due to an illegal search and seizure. And to add insult to injury, Porky also lied when he said he spent $390,000 to beat the case.
Right? I fought that case for 6 years. Now, Reggie, a lot of these dudes who really ain't fought cases, really been in this system, if you Google the definition of Texas law, when dismissed in the interest of justice, it tells you only one person can exercise this. The judge.
The judge.
Every time Porky tells us to do something, we do it. And every time it proves him wrong.
Damn, son. It's not just a warning, it's rewarding. South of mattress.
In Texas.
The judge.
The judge.
Every time Porky tells us to do something, we do it. And every time it proves him wrong. In Texas, a case involving an informant can be dismissed in the interest of justice by a judge or magistrate, either on their own motion or upon the application of the prosecutor, if they believe it serves the broader goals of justice, according to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. In a felon in possession of a firearm case in Texas, a judge could consider the interest of justice in sentencing, potentially leading to a lighter sentence or dismissal, especially if the defendant is an informant who provided valuable information.
An informant that, man, that's y'all homeboy, dog.
Yeah.
Okay, so Reggie, although the judge struck down the first motion, it didn't stop Brody from refiling, right? Challenging their strength and simply shoving it down their throat. So you know what the judge did? The judge ain't stupid. If you got an arrested officer, right? Let's say he got 10 arrests where people been sent to the penitentiary, right? And the judge knows that what he's looking at, that if he gets to a court higher than him, it'll fuck around and be granted. Because the thing is, how did you get to the trunk? Right?
Yeah, legal search. Yeah.
Nobody's on no parole, probation.
Yeah.
The fucking drug dog never.
Yeah, he don't smell weed and no alcohol.
And dumbass bozo, I ain't never disrespected you. But me and Box, and I talked to Box when he calls me. Box called me this morning. He said, what is Aunt Hathaway bozo ass talking about? Talking about, you got my Rolls Royce shot up. Whack, my Rolls Royce was already shot up and gone before I even started fucking with you. But these is a lot of niggas who wasn't around. They play like they did, they play like they that. But this 2025, we talked about 20, 25 years ago when shit's going on, right? So let's get back to Texas. So you know what the judge did? He knows this nigga been sitting here 6 years. He ain't ran out of money. Most of the time, niggas run out of money. I'm on parole, bail, well, I got to call in every Thursday. So the judge comes in and says, I'm going to dismiss this in the interest of justice, right? My file is open. If you Google Texas interest of justice, Red, you should have our guy Google it. The guy that works.
We already done.
Google.
We done did that.
Google
We did that.
The definition of a dismissal under Texas law interest of justice, and it's going to tell you
we done did
when
that.
the judge may deem that the evidence is a little shabby, or this or that, the judge can step in and say, we're just going to let the whole case go.
In a felon in possession of a firearm case in Texas, a judge could consider the interest of justice in sentencing, potentially leading to a lighter sentence or dismissal, especially if the defendant is an informant who provided valuable information.
Here we go.
And the most important thing, y'all gotta understand, White allegedly went out there because his brother had just got killed the day before. So, and the guy that allegedly did this was found now guilty. If Wack was working with him, and this is me just talking, I never said this to Wack before. If Wack was working with him like these people want to try to indicate he was doing, trust me, that nigga would have got found guilty.
How are you?
I'm great.
First time?
No, really the first time. I mean...
This is nothing like New York.
Speak English.
What the hell?
Was how to put you on the hot seat and throw you a bone to avoid detection.
But first of all, I was going out there to pick my mother up.
Okay.
But she don't like to fly. Second of all, Ann Hefe talking about 2 California niggas on the freeway. Hey, dummy, I'm 40 miles from Oklahoma border. My license is Oklahoma.
Oh, and Oklahoma at the time.
That wasn't a red flag. Stupid.
You know, when we got onto him, one of the reasons that we kind of believed Stutterbox is that Cash was facing a pretty serious gun case out of a pretty serious gun case out of I think it was out of Texas or Oklahoma. So his brother had gotten killed. It looked like he was going back out there to kind of retaliate for the murder of his brother. I think his name was Zachary or something like that. So when we're hearing about him and we're like, shit, if we can find this guy, he's got charges pending where he's got these fucking assault rifles, and he's got an Oklahoma driver's license and all this. We're like, okay, maybe, this guy could be a serious player because of that. And so then when we came up empty-handed, and I don't know whatever happened to his Texas case, to be honest with you. They don't take guns so seriously out there.
And I don't know where you come from.
He said they don't take guns that serious out there.
Be talking, but you sound dumb as a motherfucker. And you would never do a one-on-one like this with me. Because I make you look dumb as fuck. This nigga saying, watch this. Now this is what's crazy. I gave up the Main Street to beat the Texas case.
Well, one thing we know is that some kind of way Porky mysteriously ended up moving across the street from Stutterbox, who just so happened to be a suspect in the Biggie Smalls murder. Porky's name ended up all in Stutterbox's paperwork as Cash Jones and as C.S. Tubac. The paperwork said C.S. Tubac had given accurate and historical information regarding the Main Street Mafia Crips organization. All of this came after Porky caught his gun case. But Stutterbox said his work against the Main Streets wasn't enough, and because of that, he said Porky had to give them something clean, so he had to give up Poochie from Compton, saying that Poochie killed Biggie for Marion Knight. This is the amount of work Porky was doing before he ever got next to Big U.
Now this is where he's an idiot at. We all know, and Stutterbox can tell you, he's the one brought the case on his homies, right?
Stutterbox went in the police station at 3 a.m. in the morning and called and woke up somebody that I deal with from the house at 77th Division. So he need to stop that all beat up.
We gonna get our box.
Okay.
Here's the common sense shit. In order for them, if I'm working 2 entities, right? In order for me to get Texas dropped based upon the main streets, right? That means the main streets gotta get convicted, right? The main streets beat their case, dummy.
Yeah.
So what the fuck would I have done for the main streets and the law to say, I'm gonna give you this, drop this. All the main streets case got dismissed.
Got
I'm saying, I gave them the main street for Texas when the main streets all beat their.
Bruh, this man be talking in circles, bro. Like, what?
I get 4 years in the face. I get Greg Kading think he is prison.
Right.
He got him stand and say he is prison. Because after the niggas did what they did and whacked him about what he did, they couldn't take them to jail because they would have to involve whack. They would have to involve whack. They would have to involve whack.
Porky keeps throwing Stutterbox's name around as if we don't remember what Box already laid out for us.
Come on
Box
now,
made
dog.
it clear that for
Come
Deldog to be
on,
convicted, Greg Kading would have had to implicate Porky, which would have exposed him as an informant. The paperwork indicated that CS2 Back refused to testify due to fears for both his own life and his family's safety. Because of that, Greg Kading took the stand and revealed that Stutterbox had lied under oath when he denied ever working as an informant. This was the key to setting Deldog and the main streets free. Kading proved that Stutterbox had perjured himself, and because of that, the main streets weren't convicted. Exposing Porky's role would have forced the authorities to reveal the intel he provided. Since they couldn't use Porky's intel to secure a conviction, Porky was now forced to offer Greg Kading something solid that could actually be used. According to Stutterbox, Porky then backed up Kading's theory that Poochie was the one who killed Biggie Smalls, allegedly under the orders of Marion Knight. This was the very reason they started following Porky in the first place, in hopes that he would flip on Shug.
So Wack had to give him something clean. Wack gave him Poochie from Compton.
Poochie from Fruitown, Paru.
He the one killed Poochie. No, Poochie killed Biggie.
Right.
For sure. And Wack knew that inside information. He gave it to Greg Kading. Greg Kading closed his book and made Wack like a hero. Greg Kading closed his book and made Wack like a hero.
So I do remember on the documentary of the actual, I guess the book, the documentary, they did close. They basically knew who killed Tupac and Biggie, but they just took the files and threw it in the drawer. And was like, you know what I'm saying? They just want to know
Clear
that
why
they ain't even
Porky
want
is
to
always
focus.
trying to talk about Greg
That's what
Kading's
Greg
book.
Kading was saying, though.
Whenever you bring up the fact that Kading changed both his and Box's names in his movie, it doesn't take long before Porky interrupts to steer the conversation back to Kading's book. He does this all the time.
When Weisskopf says Dropvember, it means Dropvember. To celebrate the release of our brand new, insane neon...
Right.
So Wack told Greg Kading to close his book. Poochie from Paru killed Biggie. And he closed the book and made Wack like a hero.
And is that why he said, exactly.
Y'all don't run in the street. The feds run this shit. Law enforcement run this shit.
Man, I remember you, man. Reggie Wright and White 100. Can you please explain to these goofballs the Deldog case was a state case, not federal? Correct.
Deldog was a state case.
Oh, okay. So Deldog was a state case, I guess.
Yeah.
But let's listen,
All Main Street.
because you know how they like to lie.
The reason Porky emphasizes all main streets the way he just did is because he's trying to distance himself from the speculation. Porky wants people to believe that only main streets were involved in this case. And by making it clear that he wasn't directly from Main Street, he's attempting to convince people that he couldn't have been involved. a typical tactic of Porky's used to deflect attention and create a narrative that separates him from any direct ties.
Yes.
Right? Some other shit they threw me in that I was never arrested, never had nothing to do with. 1 Main Street took the stand on 7 or 8 Main Streets. All you gotta do is go pull the work up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it was a state case held in CCB court. Well, I'm gonna keep it real. Dude, when it took the stand in front of the whole LA, the whole court was streetmen and Muslims, dude walked in that motherfucker, took the stand in front of everybody for about 4 or 5 months and walked out and jumped in his Rolls Royce and drove off.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
I remember Captain Will. You know Captain Will? FOI.
Yeah.
Brother Will.
Yeah.
Brother Will called me and was like, yo, Wax, can you talk to him? I said, bro, talk to him about what? He's fully aware of what he's doing. He's doing it in front of y'all.
Yeah.
What you want me to tell you?
Could you explain his relationship? I know the answer to this, but a lot of people get him mixed up and call him Farrakhan's nephew. Could you explain their relationship?
That is Farrakhan's nephew. That's not a lie.
By the sister, right? I'm saying I know that. I just want you.
No, his dad's, his father's sister.
Yeah, something about a sister I know. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, his father's sister is Farrakhan's wife. That's not a lie. That's true.
He's down in Los Angeles, so you asking me to he told you, I'll get you and your boyfriend on the phone. You know who I'll call your boyfriend. And we'll call him. And he said he'll get you on the phone with Mark Stevens.
You gotta give Reggie an E for effort, because he sure acts like he's protecting Porky. Reggie and Porky both know we don't have to get on the phone with Mark Stevens or Stutterbox. We have all heard both of their testimonies, and both of them said Porky was CS2 back. I want you guys to listen close to what Porky says next, because he completely switches the narrative that he was running before, which is more proof that he is indeed CS2 back.
Now,
Hey, Mark Stevens.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing. If you gonna read the real paperwork, not the fake shit dude made. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in. If you read it, it says CS2 back. If you read it, it says CS2 back.
Do you guys understand what just happened?
Yes, he lied.
Porky just told me that I need to go read the real paperwork. Not the fake one that Deuce allegedly made. Porky claimed that Deuce created some fake paperwork and put his real name, Cash Jones, in it. But here's where it gets interesting. Porky then starts telling me what the real paperwork says. He says, it says CS2 back. This is Porky, in front of the entire world, admitting that the CS2 back paperwork is authentic, just like Greg Kading said it was. But that's not even the funny part. The real kicker is that after we released the audio of Greg Kading saying Porky was back, Porky accused Deuce of making fake paperwork. However, when he said this, he didn't mention Deuce putting his real name in it. Instead, he claimed Deuce created fake paperwork and just added back to it.
Tune in to GPB. It's a Georgia thing.
He's winning credit some fake work and add some back shit. You don't see that use a bowl, so I'm done talking about this shit. He's winning credit some fake work and add some back shit. You don't see that use a bowl, so I'm done talking about this shit. But this is what's recorded. If you gonna add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name? If you gonna add some shit and you wanna make it believable, just put my real name. Why the fuck would you put something in there that say it sounds like your real name? Like, this is crazy. Dude said, actually, we got the clip. He said, I went and pulled the paperwork myself Same docket number right here. There is no fucking clause in there with a CS2 back mentioned. You added that to your paperwork.
Now, fast forward to today. Porky is openly admitting that the real, authentic paperwork actually says CS2 back, which directly contradicts his earlier claims that Deuce added back to it. So now, on Reggie's panel, Porky has completely changed his story, essentially repackaging his lie, which only helps to expose him even further. The contradictions are piling up, and it's becoming clear that Porky can't keep his story straight.
If you read it, it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer who's in fear that if found out, his family will be harmed by the main streets. See, these are the things they leave out about this CS2 back dude, right? He went and created some fake work and added some back shit. Read it, it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer who's in fear that if found out, his family will be harmed by the main streets. See, these are the things they leave out about this CS2 back dude, right? There is no fucking clause in there with a CS2 back mentioned. You added that to your paperwork.
I really hope you guys can see what's going on here. If you didn't believe Porky was CS2 back before, I hope you believe it now. Initially, Porky claimed that there was no clause in the paperwork mentioning CS2 back, and that Deuce was the one who added that detail. But now, Porky is contradicting himself, saying that the CS2 back paperwork is legit, and that it clearly states CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. This should be enough to prove to the entire world that the CS2 back paperwork is real, and that Porky the Pyru is, in fact, CS2 back. Porky even told me directly to go read the paperwork, and I'd see that it says CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. Now I'm just going to tell you all right now, the paperwork does not say that. Porky is lying again. He's a master at spinning stories, but the truth is—
Damn, son!
He's caught in his own web of lies.
I ain't never had a dope case in my life. Yeah, if I was a dope dealer, best believe I wouldn't have been a low-level dope dealer. And best believe I don't have no family that I gotta worry about that live in the main streets. I'm not from Main Street. My neighborhood is probably about 18 miles.
Come on, man.
18 to 20 good miles. So if you go read it, but again, you probably a dude from Scandinavia or something who don't understand what you read. You gotta tell yourself, well, it gives a description of who this dude is and what he does in the streets. Does it fit my description? Yeah.
Porky knows I'm not from Scandinavia. If I was, his empty spin attempts might actually work. So what I do next is I send Porky a $10,000 challenge, asking him to provide proof before all of Reggie's viewers that the paperwork said CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. You see, these are the uninterrupted lies Porky has been on Clubhouse telling for years. This is the reason he blocked Deuce on Clubhouse. Porky knows the kind of holes Deuce would poke through his lies. So he avoids him like the bubonic plague.
All right, Scandalous, this is Reggie. Tell him I challenge him to $10,000 right now. You have to show it and put it in escrow. Everybody always talk about money, but you put it in escrow. And he said, I'll challenge right now on this live show us where it say CS2 was a low-level drug dealer. Ask him that, Reggie, okay?
Bro, guess what he gotta do, bro? Because the other Deuce M's created a whole fake document where all of a sudden it said cash shows. Like, it was crazy.
Okay.
But this is what's retarded. If you gonna add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name?
That's why you said the real one when you said it.
All you gotta do is go pull it up under Liddell Rawls. That's their dog name.
Okay.
Pull that document up under that paperwork and read it. Fuck with this bullshit they got. You gonna pull up Liddell Rawls, right? And then read it.
for the most comfortable, luxurious, eco-friendly, and
This is crazy.
We're gonna get into some of these what you call it. I just read one page of the paperwork. I'm gonna read 2 more pages because Scandalous challenged them, and Reggie read it, $10,000 bet that WAC 100 can't go through the paperwork and show them where it says that CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer and a Main Street Crip. See, this is right here is why Scandalous was tricking that, you know, we already tricked him out of 2,000. Scandalous trying to trick him out of 10. You know what I'm saying?
He wants the bag.
Yeah, Scandalous, he tried to bait the niggas so bad. Well, he know he CS2 back. So he know the Scandalous was too sure of himself. He was too cocky, right? So
correct.
Reggie read it, Wack listening, and it says CS2 back. See, what Wack is reading, you see this stuff that's crossed out? Huh?
No, I'm listening to you dudes. You said, repeat that one time.
Look at the thing at the screen. You see the paperwork that's crossed out, the part
Yeah, with the line at the top in the right hand, it'll be my right top corner with the X going, yeah, correct.
Yeah, right. So right there, if I blow it all the way up, y'all should be able, no, that's as much as it goes. It says CI2, confidential informant 2.
Wow.
Right? And that's the low-level purchaser of crack cocaine, et cetera, right? You got a CI2, and then you got a CS2. So when his dumb ass can't read no paperwork, you know you gang goofy from when he was horny for content. You know what I'm saying? You know the nigga don't know how to read no work.
What really happened here is that Porky was spinning. He knows the difference between CS2 and CI2, and he saw that the entire section for CI2 was blacked out with a marker. So why would Porky read the crossed out section, but completely miss the paragraph underneath it that just happens to be about CS2 back? But hey, it's all out in the open now. We're going to go through that paperwork, just like Porky told us to. And it's crazy, because every time we do exactly what Porky says, all we find are more lies from him.
More lies. Shit, crazy.
And the blame just keeps landing squarely on his shoulders. The truth is coming to light, and Porky's attempts to spin the story only make his lies more obvious.
So we thought we had one. You know what I'm saying? Scandalous try to bamboozle the nigga. The nigga talking about CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer and this and this and this and that, right? No, that's CI2 back, right?
Right. I'm listening, yeah.
So CS2 has provided reliable historical information concerning the Main Street Mafia Crip organization. In the history of Main Street, and shout out to the Main Streets, they got a lot of legendary niggas over there that was getting to that bag. Richie Rich, all kind of dudes, right? Dale Dog is one of the most known Main Street Mafia Crips that ever done it in South Central LA, right? Just the accomplishments he made coming up off the east side of South Central LA with his whole crew on. Nigga ain't on to my whole crew on, nigga. He did that. But anyway, CS2 has provided reliable historical information concerning Main Street Mafia Crip organization. Good luck to Wack talking about he didn't ever snitch on nobody. However, CS2 is only aware of certain aspects regarding the organization's criminal activities and narcotic distribution network. CS2 has no knowledge or information regarding the methods in which narcotics are being transported to the Los Angeles area and distributed to mainstream Mafia Crip gang members. Additionally, CS2 is unable to provide information regarding the narcotic customs, flow of narcotic proceeds, and methods that they are using to laundering their narcotic proceeds. CS2 is only able to identify a limited number of Main Street Mafia Crip gang members. Why would you say that it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer from Main Street Crip when it makes it clear with this definition he's only able to identify a limited number of Main Street Mafia Crip gang members? How you from Main Street, but you can't identify but a few Main Street Mafia Crip members?
Guns N' Roses World Tour 2026. Sign up now through Monday, December 1st.
The nigga ain't from Main Street. That was one of the clues, you goofy ass nigga. Goofologist 101, nigga. CS2 is unable to provide specific information regarding the organization's extortion activities, methods of monetary collections and distribution of proceeds. CS2 is also unable to provide any information regarding the Main Street Mafia Crip organization. And we got one more page. So with other leaders of the other large gang organizations, CS2 is able to provide limited information regarding violent assaults committed by Main Street Mafia Crips, including shootings, burglaries, and murders. CS2 is unwilling to testify in court against members of the Main Street Mafia Crip because CS2 is fearful of retaliation against CS2 and or CS2's family. CS2 believes that if any member of the Main Street Mafia Crip criminal organization becomes aware of CS2's cooperation with law enforcement, the organization will likely orchestrate the execution of CS2.
Porky tried to create this narrative that CS2 back was a Main Street Crip, but we've just found out that was a lie. He also tried to push the idea that he wouldn't have to worry about his family being harmed by anyone because they don't live on Main Street. But the paperwork tells a completely different story. It states that CS2 back refused to testify because if anyone from Main Street found out he was working, they'd quickly arrange for his execution. What's more, CS2 back specifically mentioned that if anyone from Main Street found out, and he just so happened to live right across the street from Stutterbox, who was from Main Street, he'd be in serious trouble. Porky was afraid that if Stutterbox found out, he'd either come kill him, or he'd expose where Porky and his wife were living, putting them both in danger.
So, does it say anywhere in about CS2, did y'all see anything that said something about a low-level drug dealer about CS2? Not CI2, CS2. Anything about a low-level drug dealer? Or just this declaration that this confidential source is a Main Street Mafia Crip member? No. In fact, everything in there seems to indicate that he has limited information about who the Main Streets is, how the insides of how they're laundering their money, where their dope is delivered, but he was able to give them a little, limited amount. You can't give me an AKA. I ain't never been a back.
It's very out of the ordinary for there to be an oncoming RICO and for so much of it to already be being discussed on social media and on podcasts.
Who's doing that?
When does that happen? You and 600.
Now that Lucy's in custody, Porky's doing everything he can to distance himself. The same guy who was backing every story Lucy told, co-signing all the lies, is now calling him a liar. saying he never believed a word Lucy said. Porky was the one verifying those claims, and now he's acting like he was never involved. In this video, we'll expose how CS2 Back, being Loose Cannon's official handler, has been the Porky puppet master, pulling Lucy's strings from the very beginning. This is deeper than YouTube content. This is about handlers, the feds, and how the streets are waking up to who's really who. For anybody who still questions whether Porky the Porch Monkey Puppet Master is working for the feds or not, I want you to listen to what he said a while ago about Vlad TV.
Man, you better let you know that Vlad, look, I told you the other day, Vlad was working with the police the whole time. Vlad was working with the police the whole time. Yeah, you did say the whole time he was working. Certain questions he was asking was direction from him. Certain questions he was asking was direction from him. The whole time. He was a hand to come in there so he can do that. What they did, they went for it. Now, if we continue, even like little Boosie, to go over there with that who don't look like us, to go over there with that who don't look like us, he just showed his head. And cooperating with the law, motherfuckers. And cooperating with the law, motherfuckers. Right? And that's on y'all. That's what that is.
Did y'all catch that? Because Porky just said a lot in that little rant he just went on. He just said that DJ Vlad is working with the feds, and that they're feeding Vlad specific questions to ask his guests. He also claimed Vlad is paying certain celebrities to come on his platform, just so he can ask them the questions that the feds want answers to. Then he called out Lil Boosie by name. Porky said if Boosie keeps doing interviews with a guy who doesn't look like us, then he's showing his hand. Basically saying that Boosie and anyone else doing Vlad interviews are cooperating.
But the craziest thing, he be with Vlad.
So now that we know how Porky really sees Vlad, and the people who look like us that sit down with him, let's take a listen to just one of the many statements he made on Vlad, who Porky again said was the feds.
After the murder, when Quando went back to Georgia, what did he immediately do? Drop his flag? There it goes. What was he claiming? Roll 60 script. Where Brick Baby from? Roll 60 script. What you think the police told Quando? That the Roll 60 set him up. Who you think he checked in with? Roll 60s? With who? Okay, I see where you're going with this. That's not going to say it. Listen. I'm not going to say it. No, listen.
You just heard Porky.
That's fucking telling. That's telling.
Sit down with the Fed.
And now he locked up.
And attempt to implicate Big U in another murder.
But he really implicated the wrong person, because the person who supposedly had it done, who locked up for it is Lil Durkin though.
At this point, I really don't know what else needs to be said.
Okay, I already know the answer to this, because I heard you say it on No Jumper, but I know a lot of people be asking, I can repeat what you're going to say, but I'll ask it. Why did you get in bed or be cool with Luce and bring him on and start exposing him to No Jumper? I know the word is. Your enemy is my friend, but go ahead.
We had a TV show coming out.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, I didn't really know a lot of shit of people Luce dealt with, right? Because remember, you had an issue with him and I didn't know it. I guess he said.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
He said some crazy shit about you.
Yeah.
Right?
Reggie Wright. Listen. Let me hear one more thing you talking about me, you fat bitch, and I'm gonna expose your ass. You know the story what you was said, which I used to do when y'all was at Death Row? Yeah, I know. Don't make me expose you to make your fat ass get off that couch, bitch.
I thought you was protecting me. Some people would tell me you sick him on me, but I know better than that.
Reggie might be laughing, but deep down, he knows the truth. And the truth is that Porky is the one behind Luce's attack on him. Porky isn't just some background character. He's Lucy's handler,
We all have a handler.
Stop it, Wack.
You do, I got a handler. I'm Lucy's handler.
Hey, one handler tried to throw.
I got a handler. My handler, yo, Chuck. We all got handlers, Chuck. We all have a handler.
Stop it, Wack.
You do, I got a handler. I'm Lucy's handler.
Hey, one handler tried to throw.
I got a handler. My handler, yo, Chuck.
I didn't know there was a handler.
6 months ago, my handler, you ain't noticed I done bagged up off the app about 50%?
Yeah.
Cause my handler said, Wack, contract about to close, time to start shutting that down. My handler told me that.
Who your handler, Orange?
See, a handler ain't gotta be.
Hey, that's the real Benny or that's somebody trolling?
What?
That's Benny. I already seen him and everybody. No, Benny, yeah, Benny. I told Benny to pull up.
Listen, a handler don't gotta be like, you know.
So Benny, you got the invite.
You know, like Lou, man, if I wasn't in this crazy year, this would have been on some other.
Man, I do be on the other. You just be stopping me. Man, I do be on the other. You just be stopping me. Man, I do be on the other. You just be stopping me.
Yeah, the handler is a motherfucker that you are listening to because you respect them and you know they got your best interest at heart. Lior has Kevin's best interest at heart, right? I gotta lose best interest at heart. I gotta lose best interest at heart. I gotta lose best interest at heart.
Whatever Porky says, Lucy follows. If Porky tells him to stand down, he does. But that didn't happen this time, because Porky wanted it to happen. He gave the green light. And Lucy's not the only one carrying out Porky's agenda. Porky is also SBGB-TV's handler. And right now, like clockwork, SBGB-TV is out here pushing the same narrative about Reggie, the one Porky's been fueling all along.
Back in the day, Reggie got caught up fucking with a dude named Sag that was working for Suge as a personal assistant. Woo! Hold up. See, I knew Wack got some dirt on Reggie Wright. Reggie Wright liked to fuck with those old boys. Hold up. Reggie Wright was fucking with them boys. Hold up. Or was he in the streets fucking around? We need to know. Because if he was fucking with them boys, he looked like one of those motherfuckers, right?
The pattern's clear. The pork belly puppet master pulls the strings, and his puppet puppies dance.
So I didn't know nothing about this.
Yeah.
I called him. I said, yo, bro, but this crazy shit you saying about Red, he was talking about like one of the security guards told him. See, this is how you know when you think it's crazy shit. Kez or somebody's uncle talking about they did some sexual shit to you, right?
Yeah, well, he said it was the Vivian or something, accountant or bookkeeper or something. And we know we don't have no black folks that work for us. She doesn't really trust black people with this money.
So I think January, he came to me. And it was a manager dude he got. It's a white dude, bro. He just called me the other day. It's a white dude he got. Maceo or Marcio, some shit. But he the one originally called me. He like, yo, Luce County got this show, and can you help me market it? So at this time, Luce said a bunch of crazy shit about me. Luce said a bunch of crazy shit about me. Luce said a bunch of crazy shit about me. But I didn't pay no attention because I didn't really know him. But I didn't pay no attention because I didn't really know him. But I didn't pay no attention.
It's the holidays until you've seen Garden Lights Holiday Nights at the Atlanta Botanical Garden. Get tickets now.
Good evening. This is Val. I'm Mocha. Welcome. You must be curious about the show.
Didn't really know him.
By now, most of y'all should know. If Porky's lips are moving, there's a good chance he's lying. This is exactly what I meant when I said Porky's been doing everything he can to distance himself from the guy he handles. Now he's trying to claim that when Luce was dissing him, they didn't even know each other. That's what he's sitting here saying. with a straight face, like we're all just supposed to forget the past. Porky already admitted that back when Luce was going at him, it was all part of the plan. That Luce was being instructed to diss him, to make it look like they were enemies. So let's roll the clip. Let's hear Porky, in his own words, admit that he was pulling the strings the entire time.
You know why you know the footage exists? You know why Luce can't know that the footage I speak of is real? That's wrong. That's his fucking cousin. Oh shit, bro, I'm done. Alright, son. You didn't catch when I said you stupid. Luce been with me the whole time, you dumb, stupid ass. Niggas over there shaking like dinosaurs right now. God.
Luce has been with him the whole time. He made a diss song about wax. He made a diss song. That was the play to do that.
Come on, son.
Niggas on the street right now. That motherfucking loyal member underneath him. That's how you do it. You always keep one right there. Like, go at me all the time.
Dang. Luce been wanting to come out. I just didn't let him out yet. Luce been wanting to come out. I just didn't let him out yet. I just didn't let him out yet. I just didn't let him out yet.
So Porky just said of his own mouth that Luce has been with him the entire time. You heard his pet pedophile, Bacon Grease Beast, cheerleading and praising Porky for having Luce with him the whole time. Porky then went on to say that Luce has been wanting to come out, but he himself wouldn't let Luce come out yet. So like I was saying before, Luce does whatever Porky tells him to do, and you guys just heard it with your own ears.
You get what I'm saying? Okay. Don't look on the thing. He said all kind of crazy shit about me, but I'm like, it rolled out. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're riding out for your homie.
Who's Kenny?
You guys are doing a little bit of shady business together.
Not shady. Might be, me and Luce Cannon been comrades for quite some time. We fooled the streets.
What about those
Did you know Luce Cannon did song on me?
Yeah, and I feel like you're lying when you say that it was all premeditated and planned out.
It was. He told me that's what he wanted to do. I told him to do it. So I looked at it, and he warned me to whack some shit on the internet, but he's really trying to market his show as a bag for you. I said, what he want? He wants you to get into the platform. So I brought him to No Jumper. If you notice, him and his wife is there. It's called The Beats, is the name of the show. Okay. It's called Urban Flicks, right? So I had February, March, February to May. February to May was the run. So, you know, they paid me what they paid me. I took him there, and then I seen the academics. I had trick academics. I know
you act like you was going. Yeah, I heard you. You told me. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I know once he was there in front of him, he was gonna run the show.
He gonna go ahead and do it. Yeah.
This is when he said the Carl Winslow shit.
Yeah.
Right. So in my head, I'm like, listen, I'm here to do a job. Whatever nigga want to say, you can say. You get what I'm saying? Period. I just told him. I think the only stipulation I put on him was you.
So again, Porky is the one handling Lucy. He just said that he hooked him up with No Jumper and DJ Academics. He also just said that he was able to put stipulations on Lucy also, proving that Lucy does what Porky allows him to do. And if Porky doesn't want him to do something, he'll put stipulations on him.
Yeah. You was the only one, because I said, Reg, I don't know nothing about it. I'm getting paid to promote the show.
Because you know what I called and asked you, and I got mad at you because I said you was protecting me. Because I wanted to go.
I said, Reg, I'm not protecting nobody.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about it. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I guarantee you this. He won't do that to you again, right?
Yeah.
That shit was said, I guess, prior to, right?
Yeah. Well, he was mad because he felt like I called him out for saying that was a lie or a play about what y'all, what he said he had. And I was just saying, and all I said, if it don't come out by that date, then he lied.
And that's exactly what happened.
Waiting to see how they gonna cover up.
Half of this town will be dead by morning.
Marathon is rewarding fans with savings of up to $1 per gallon. Marathon, the official fuel of a Big Ten.
February the 14th, if this doesn't come out, and if it does come out, whoa. A lot of people's credibility is on the line with us.
And Reggie made it clear. He said if Luce didn't drop that video on February 14th, the one where Big U supposedly FaceTimed him and said Nipsey Hussle had been killed 30 minutes before it actually happened, then both Lucy and Porky were lying to everybody. Now fast forward to today, and suddenly Porky's saying Luce was lying the whole time. But let's not forget, back then, Porky was standing right next to him, defending everything he said. He was even acting like he was ready to bet money on Luce's claims.
Okay, but you realize that some very, very serious allegations were made during that interview.
So what?
And a lot of them don't really seem to stand up.
Luke, how you know? You a white boy.
I've seen a lot of evidence to the contrary.
You say what? What you say? I tell you what, Adam, you're a wealthy man. I'll front the honey. You put up 100,000, I have Luce pull up. If he ain't got what he say he got, I'll pay you 100. If he do, you give me 100.
I'm not really trying to be the guy who decides exactly what happened or didn't happen.
Stop trying to discredit something that you can't. But what we can do, hold on, Adam. I'll front the 100 for Luce. If he ain't got it, I'll lose that. If he got what he say he got, you pay. We got a bet.
So at this point, it's clear. By Porky's own admission, he's been Lucy's handler, and they've been working together for a long time. But now that Lucy's behind bars, Pork Belly's out here acting like he barely knows the guy, trying to play innocent, like he wasn't right there in the mix the whole time. The switch-up is nasty work, but the receipts don't lie.
Well, Wack, let me ask you this, because I've been knowing you as this legendary kind of behind-the-scenes figure throughout hip-hop for decades. I'll keep it real, I haven't really heard much about Luce Cannon until he started hanging around with you.
That's a fact. That's just what's real.
But I knew very little about him until I've read this whole this criminal complaint, and I've become to know how close he was to Big U, knowing your relationship with Big U. Now I'm looking back thinking, how have you and him got so close considering that history?
They didn't become cool until Luce was no longer cool with. But he was.
How did you trust a guy that was so cool with
up until like what, 2 years ago?
Nah, 2021, early 2021.
Okay.
So CS2 Back and Arian Adam are trying to push the narrative that Porky didn't start messing with Luce until 2021. Even though Porky already told Adam the Aryan that him and Lucy were together way back when Lucy did the diss song. For some reason, Porky is now hell-bent on making the people believe that he didn't start messing with Luce until 2021.
So at the end of the day, it's like, I realized like, damn, it's 2023 and you got a BlackBerry. Like they didn't.
How long have I been asking you about that BlackBerry?
Since 2015. Since 2015. Since 2015.
So now Porky's saying he met Lucy in 2021. But that doesn't line up with what he said before. In that No Jumper interview with Lucy just last year, they both admitted they knew each other back in 2015, clearly showing they'd been locked in long before 2021. But
Y'all witnessed outside of No Jumper. Did I do what I was supposed to do?
You didn't do anything.
No, bullshit. Oh, bullshit. I stopped some shit.
Whack,
Did I not?
When you lined up,
Did I not?
when you lined up,
You stopped it? You telling me I didn't stop nothing?
I mean,
outside this building?
unless there was a threat that we didn't see off camera.
Are you telling me out there with this weenie, the PDF file, Jay Reed, y'all telling me I didn't stop nothing? No, you're a motherfucking lie. I didn't stop nothing.
you hear Porky yelling, trying to plead his case, saying he stopped Lucy from killing Jay Reed that day at No Jumper. When you run the footage back, the truth comes out. Lucy pulls the gun off his hip, and at the same time, you hear the Porky puppet master himself shouting at Lucy, telling him not to do it. Porky didn't break up anything. He didn't intervene physically, but he did tell Lucy to stand down. And Lucy listened, because Porky is his handler and puppet master.
I say, don't do that. Don't do that.
Porky wasn't lying when he said that he told Lucy to
kill
stop.
that man, bro.
But what Porky is conveniently leaving out is he's also the one who told his minion to do it, showing you again that Lucy does whatever Porky tells him to do, because Porky is his hand.
So that nigga to jump off a bridge, he's gonna go do it. We going to Gossip Rush. This whole Future brother thing getting locked up casino. See what they talking
Desert
about.
Diamonds celebrate every moment that makes her, her.
Both of his dudes in FBG got caught by the police in track spots. That's a little bit confusing. One guy basically just liquidated like his musical fame, got $100 million, and he's spending buying this, that, and third, tricking on women, doing whatever he does. And then the rest of the team, they're keep getting caught in drug spots. That's kind of confusing. Ain't that confusing, Chad?
Future's own blood brother is now facing serious federal time for moving major weight, while Future's out here sitting on a $100 million fortune from selling his music catalog. This situation isn't just about family ties. It's about how jealousy and greed can tear everything apart. There are even whispers that someone close might have cooperated with authorities just to save themselves from the same trouble. While Future's living large in his Miami mansion, dripping in designer gear, his brother Casino was allegedly deep in street operations, managing spots where big deals were going down. The feds reportedly caught him at an Airbnb that had turned into a stash location. We've got access.
That shit right down the street from my house. Two stop signs from my house. That's where he got busted at.
Verified court documents, real press footage, and insider info that the mainstream isn't showing. What we're about to reveal explains why Future might have kept his distance.
But that ain't the first big bust that was over here. I had a bust like right where I'm looking at right here on the other side of this apartment. They had a bust. It was like $2 or $3 million worth for I think it was meth or something like that. Some Mexican people were running
Everything
this
fell
shit.
apart. Behind the flashy lifestyle of FBG lies a much darker truth. From young Scooter's tragic situation to Casino's ongoing case, money and fame changed everything within that circle. Loyalty started to fade, and now the consequences are catching up fast. The internet's been going crazy ever since news broke about Casino's arrest, but most people only know the headlines. We're diving into the real federal complaint and the moment that flipped everything upside down. November 2025, around 10 p.m.
I believe that Diaz's connection to California is significant because we know, as mentioned earlier, the Mexican drug cartels smuggle fentanyl into our country over the southwest border.
The night everything changed for the Wilburn family, all centered around one name, Rico Casino B. Future's blood brother, who was said to be running major moves for FBG, was chilling in a Forest Park Airbnb when federal agents from multiple task forces pulled up with search warrants ready to flip his whole world upside down. This wasn't just some random bust. This was part of Operation Take.
They poison our community, but they have second-order effects and spillover effects like addiction, like overdose, like violent crime in our community.
Back America, a major federal crackdown on nationwide trafficking rings. Now let's be clear, this wasn't small time. Authorities reportedly found 21 kilograms of illegal substances, worth nearly $500,000 on the streets, plus $380,000 in cash, money counters, vacuum sealers, and a Glock 19. This was a full-on operation, not a side hustle. Here's where it gets wild. Just 2 years before all this, Future had secured almost 100.
They had all that. They had one gun. Well, what? I got all that. I'm finna have an arsenal in there.
$100 million from selling his music catalog, yet his circle was still risking everything for quick cash. This isn't just one bad decision. It's a pattern that's been growing ever since Future got that big payday. From young Scooter's tragic chase in 2020 to multiple FBG members getting tangled in legal trouble, the signs were all there. And now,
From the cartel and these organizations, it's coming from a source, coming into the country, and then distributed on a local level in these communities like Athens, like Macon, in the Middle District of Georgia, hitting the street, and then being distributed by gangs and local.
And then the craziest thing about they got a song, Casino is on the song, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They got a song called The Feds Did a Sweep, and that's exactly what they did.
Distributors. And that flow of drugs, that's not an opinion, that's a fact. You can trace the pattern, and that's how drugs flow through our community.
Future's own brother could be facing life behind bars, while Future's out posting luxury jet pics and island views. The contrast is insane, and the truth behind it hits even harder. So picture this. Back in 2022, Future makes a massive power move and sells his entire music catalog to influence media partners for somewhere between $65 to $75 million. That's real generational wealth. Money that can change the lives of his kids and their kids too. This wasn't tour or feature money. This was ownership cash, the kind that puts you in a whole new league forever. Right after that deal hit his account, Future went big, dropping $16 million on a Miami waterfront mansion. We're talking ocean views, endless rooms, marble floors, the kind of spot that screams, I made it. But once that money started flowing, he began spending like he just hit the jackpot. Because honestly, he did. Now here's where the story gets deep. FBG, Free Bands Gang, was never just a record label. It was family. Casino wasn't just another artist. He was Future's real brother, and the one managing things behind the scenes while Future chased global success. When Future was on tour, Casino was keeping the empire tight back in Atlanta, making sure the home team stayed solid. But in the hood, there's a rule. When one person eats, the whole family eats. You don't leave your people struggling while you're counting millions. That's why this story stings. Future wasn't just rich. He was set for life rich. And according to the official documents we've seen, this wasn't some surprise bust. The feds had been watching for a while, tracking moves, listening in, and building their case piece by piece. When they finally made their move, it wasn't random. It was a planned takedown of what they believed was a major operation.
Individuals who profit the most from that distribution are often not in our country, and they're profiting, making the most money out of it. That's the problem.
Picture this. November 14th, around 10 p.m., federal agents pull up to an Airbnb in Forest Park. 2 cars parked outside.
So 10 p.m. I think that was that Friday.
One in Casino's name, the other registered to a California man named David Diaz, who had zero connection to Georgia. The task force moves in to execute the warrant, and Casino tries to make a run for it with a woman by his side. But let's keep it real. He didn't make it far. They caught him quick, and he had about $4,000 in cash on him when they did. Inside that Airbnb, moves in to execute the warrant, and Casino tries to make a run for it with a woman by his side. But let's keep it real. He didn't make it far. They caught him quick, and he had about $4,000 in cash on him when they did. Inside that Airbnb, a full setup straight out of a movie scene. The feds uncovered 17 kilograms of illegal substances, brick-sized packages, some even stamped with designer logos like Louis Vuitton. That's wild when you think about Future's luxury lifestyle, designer fashion showing up in the most unexpected place. But that wasn't all. They also found about $300,000 stacked in rubber bands around the house, plus $30,000 stuffed in a designer bag that allegedly belonged to Casino, bringing the total to roughly $380,000. Alongside that were money counters and vacuum sealers, tools used when serious cash was in motion.
Around with $250,000 and just sitting around the house.
Full-scale business activity. And here's where things hit harder. This isn't the first time an FBG member's been tangled up while Future's out living lavish. Young Scooter, rest in peace, lost his life back in 2020 under tragic circumstances that could have been avoided if he'd had better support around him. According to reports, he was inside a house when police arrived after a false call. He panicked, tried to run, and never made it home. This pattern within FBG runs...
Oh, false call. That girl, I think they did lock her up for that, though. The girl that made the call. They locked her up for that shit.
Deep. And what happened that night in Forest Park just exposed how far apart the lifestyles inside this family had really grown. He tried to jump a fence to get away, but tragedy struck. He got caught on a metal stake that pierced his leg, hitting
a major artery.
Main artery. He lost too much blood before help arrived. That's a death that could have been prevented if his people had the resources to keep him out of those risky spots. When you've got legit income streams, you don't have to gamble with your life like that. Here's the wild part. Future literally rapped about this kind of downfall before it even happened. Remember the song Feds Did a Sweep? Casino was right there in the video, surrounded by cash, living that same reality the lyrics described. Now fast forward. Real life mirrored the music, and Casino's now facing possible life behind bars for a federal conspiracy charge tied to those 21 kilos. Talk about art turning into real life. When it comes to these types of cases, the feds don't play. They treat it like a national crisis, especially with that kind of weight involved. The penalties are serious, and once they lock in on a case, they're going all the way. But here's where things get deep. It might not be as simple as Future forgot where he came from. Maybe he tried to help, and people around him still chose the streets. Maybe family drama or loyalty issues caused that distance. Still, when you look at the bigger picture, Scooter gone, Casino fighting a federal case, and other FBG members caught in chaos, it paints a story of a man who made it out, but couldn't bring everyone with him. And think about this, $70 million is enough to change everybody's life in that circle.
But dog, they might be trying to bring his ass into this shit too now.
Kind of money could have built businesses, real estate projects, studios,
but hopefully he ain't got nothing to do with it.
All legal ways to get rich without risking your life or freedom. Think about it. Future could have given 10 people $5 million each and still had $20 million left over for himself. That's life-changing money, enough to build real opportunities instead of street chaos. Imagine if he built a legit record label with real offices, a clothing brand where his people were partners, not just workers. Or maybe real estate projects in Atlanta.
I mean, he don't have a clothing brand, but he works with clothing brands. Because I know my homeboy Neff, they back in the day when he first started, I know they had a free band gang Neff thing going on.
Startups and entertainment ventures that kept the whole team winning. But instead, while Future's out buying Miami mansions and living that high-end lifestyle, his own blood brothers sitting in an Airbnb surrounded by dangerous substances worth millions. The contrast is insane and painful to watch. Here's what most people don't talk about: the psychology of sudden wealth. When you go from nothing to everything overnight, it changes you. Sometimes you distance yourself from your old world. Sometimes you think money will fix people's problems. But without structure, discipline, or legit direction, that money just creates new problems. Loyalty used to mean everything. You don't leave your day ones behind, especially not family. But success does something to people. It separates them from their roots. Maybe Future did try to help, but they didn't listen. Maybe he offered opportunities that got turned down. Or maybe, over time, he just got too comfortable living the good life and forgot the unspoken rule: never forget where you came from. And sadly, this story isn't new in hip-hop. We've seen it over and over. Artists blow up, get the big bag, and suddenly the same people who helped build the foundation get left behind. But this time, it hits different, because this isn't just about crew. It's about blood family. This wasn't some random associate or old friend. This was Future's real brother. And what makes it even heavier is that Casino got tangled up in Operation Take Back America, a major federal mission targeting international criminal networks. The feds are treating this like a national security case, not just a street crime. They're going after cartels, foreign groups, and massive distribution chains. So when someone gets caught up in this type of operation, it's serious. These cases don't end with easy deals or short time. They're built to make examples out of people. And then there's David Diaz, the man arrested alongside Casino. He's from California with no ties to Georgia. That alone shows this wasn't a small local setup. The feds believe it connects to an interstate supply network moving across state lines, possibly even linked to international sources. Casino wasn't allegedly caught with personal amounts. This looked like part of a much bigger pipeline. But here's the deeper truth. This isn't just about substances or charges. It's about family. Look,
the only way he gonna be able to get off of that shit, he gonna have to tell on somebody, bro. They tell me he had millions of dollars. They say he had 21 kilos, so that's millions of dollars worth of that shit, bro. You gonna have to tell on somebody, bro. Get out.
And the cost of success.
They ain't just gonna let you out.
The trenches. But can you really say you made it if your own brother is fighting for his freedom? Imagine sitting in a $16 million Miami mansion knowing your blood brother is sitting in federal custody. That's a pain money can't erase.
Damn.
What does that mean for Future's legacy? How do you celebrate being one of Atlanta's greatest when your family's still trapped in the same cycle you escaped? This whole situation shines a harsh light on hip-hop's dark side. We praise artists for getting rich, but nobody talks about the weight that comes with it. When you make it out, do you owe it to your people to pull them up too? And if so, how far does that loyalty go before it
And it's crazy because, I'm doing everything myself. I really ain't got, and I probably got one or two people I'm going to look out for. I mean, definitely my family, but as far as like friends and shit, I ain't got no damn friends, bro.
You everything. So here's the question.
I like that.
When you make it out, is it enough to offer help, or do you gotta force people to take it? Future's catalog sale was supposed to be a win for the culture. A man from Atlanta turning his art into generational wealth and proving hip-hop could build real ownership. But now, that victory feels bittersweet, knowing that while Future was securing the bag, his own circle was still caught up in risky business back home. We don't know every detail. Did Future try to help Casino and get pushed away? Was there family tension that split them up? Or did Casino just stick to the streets even when other doors were open? Maybe Future just got lost in his success and drifted from the people who once held him down. These are questions only they can answer, and maybe the truth will never come out. What we do know is this: Casino's now facing a possible life sentence without parole.
They said the minimum he can get is 10 years. And he 41, so goddamn, if he 41, he basically gonna get out when if he don't beat the charges. But it's gonna be hard to beat the charges because you in the house, you got a gun with you in the concessions of a crime already. I don't know about his record, but yeah, that shit was right up the street, bro.
Forever. No second chances. No coming home moment. Meanwhile, Future's living the dream. Private jets, vacations, the high life. The contrast couldn't be sharper, and it forces us to look at the darker side of success. Loyalty, family, and the price of moving up. Maybe Future did try to pull his brother out and he didn't listen. Maybe he offered real opportunities that just weren't taken. Or maybe the fame, distance, and money created walls too high to climb back over. Either way, it's a painful story. A family torn apart by choices, circumstances, and success itself. So what do you think? Should Future have done more to protect his brother and the FBG crew? Or was Casino responsible for the path he took? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and let me know where you stand on this wild situation. See you in the next one.
All right, y'all. This Star Snitch. This gonna be a fun. They talking about Tupac stuff.
Friday game day, it all tees off when 4 elite PGA Tour players face off in the iconic.
Near fatal shooting, but he couldn't survive a second. Rap star Tupac Shakur died last night after a brief life in a rough business. He was 25.
I had him shot. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you notice it was a rat on television saying he the one did the shooting, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, right? Right. If you think about it, right? Right. Why you think nobody been arrested if they said they didn't want to kill Tupac?
Because they're snitching to the police, so they ain't gonna
That's
do
a
it.
snitch. Be smart, son. Because Tupac not dead. Tupac not dead. If he was dead, they'd be arresting on Tupac murder.
Should not right there.
Go to the Cuban cigar.
He says,
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pop was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
Don't you think Pop? Never know.
Almost 3 decades have passed since that wild night in Las Vegas. But the mystery around Tupac Shakur's deaths.
Y'all check out Star Snitch, but that'll be craziest thing ever if goddamn Tupac really still alive. That'll be wild.
To sit quietly.
Wild
Every
work.
couple of years, something new pops up. A photo, a random interview, a sudden statement, or a brand new theory.
In the last interview we did, you said Tupac murder was an inside job, but I never got to ask you, why do you think it was an inside job?
I don't know if I said it was an inside job and put it in that perspective. But what I was saying is that it's funny to me that you got Suge Knight, you got bodyguards, you got guys who hanging around doing security, and the dude runs to Tupac I don't think Tupac gave the dude the chain that Orlando and his people supposedly had took from him. I think if it came from anybody, it came from Suge Knight or somebody in the office. But it was funny to me that he goes to the littlest in the crew and tell him that this dude Orlando took my chain and he over there.
Yeah, that don't make sense. That don't make sense.
So that part,
yeah, that don't make sense at all. That don't make sense. Damn.
Pot going over there.
Yeah, the way he broke that the way he broke that down, bro. Like, it might not have been over no chain, bro. Just listen what he say though. Like, you gonna tell Tupac like what 5'6" at the most. Tupac is a little dude. You should have went to Debo and told him to do that shit.
That part of Pot going over there, it was always mind-boggling to me, because Pot knows that he's on paper. He gets involved in anything.
He can go back. He can go back to
any
jail.
kind of aggressive manner, battery.
He can go back to jail.
He going back to jail.
Damn.
All that bail money, all that shit, revoked.
So I don't even think that shit was over. That shit.
So why is he doing this?
Over a chain?
Now,
I don't believe it, bro.
We all heard, even from Pac's camp, that there's some wrongdoings with his money and things that's going on. So, who would have the biggest loss? Who would lose the most? And Pac finding out his money is missing, or he didn't get the paper he was supposed to. It had to be somebody in their camp that would lose. Somebody who had the avenue that they could steal, that they could take.
What you think about Trayvon Lane? He said that he didn't tell Tupac to jump on Orlando. He said that Tupac did that on his own.
Tupac ran over there after he got out and went in his ear, right? Speaks for itself. Why
but that don't well.
Why you tell Suge? Why you
I don't know. That's kind of hard, bro. Yeah. And you told Tupac, and Tupac ran over there with that shit.
Street dude.
Damn, Pac. That's the part that hurt me the most, bro. Like, Pac ran up on the folks, and that's the part that's the most heartbreaking part, bro. Like, damn, cause I done been in some situation where I done did some stupid shit, but I ain't lose my life, bro. But damn. Damn, Pop.
Why would he tell Pop? Did anybody ever ask him, why did you tell Pop? Why didn't you tell Suge? Because Suge gave him the chain. Why you didn't tell one of those other guys? Why didn't you tell Pop bodyguard?
And suddenly the whole world starts asking that same question again. What really went down with Tupac Shakur? 1996. Now Shakur is speaking out and Snoop sharing what he remembers from that night. Moprim isn't buying the official story at all, not even a bit. He believes there was something deeper going on behind the scenes, something the public was never told, and something bigger than just a drive-by shooting. And with Diddy's recent legal problems stirring up old suspicions, people are starting to re-examine the case with brand new eyes. But before diving into these fresh...
You said that the same people that was trying to kill Puffy are the same people that was trying to kill Suge. What makes you say that?
Because
pursue the person who hit you after a car accident. I just got $100,000 for an accident I was in last month.
If Suge said that Rafael Perez and David Mack was trying to kill him, those are the same people that was trying to kill Biggie. Because David Mack and Rafael Perez were seen at the scene. They got pictures of them at the scene. Rafael Perez was picking up bullets at the scene. Cops know you do not mess with the evidence. You leave the evidence right where it's at. So, bruh, they couldn't get Puff, and Big was collateral damage.
So pretty much what you're saying, Ray, and I'm trying to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. You're saying that the same people that killed Biggie are the same people that killed Tupac, LAPD.
If Suge says that you saw one, you saw them both, I gotta go with the eyewitness. And I don't know why would Suge say that when Keefy D him, Orlando, and dragged them in the car together. But why Suge would say if you saw one of them both? He said that in the documentary. Like I said, man, I just believe that somebody was made to say something, and if I hope the Vegas Police Department do their due diligence and get down to the bottom of it and make the truth come out.
I mean, that is consistent with what you was telling me some months ago. How you felt like, you know, the whole Tupac Vegas situation was an inside job. So, I mean, it's consistent with what you've been telling me, so.
It don't take a rocket scientist for this, man.
But what you think the motive was, though, behind them wanting to kill Tupac? Like, what's the reason?
What's the root of all evil?
Money.
Money. Somebody wanted control of some money. Some people were spending money that they shouldn't have been spending. Some people were stealing money that they shouldn't have been stealing. Some people had money they shouldn't have had. And I think if I heard correctly, Tupac put an audit in 2 weeks or 3 weeks prior to his, and start firing people and trying to figure
Fire
out
one of the security guards, which was Reggie Wright Jr.
So
Reggie
now,
Wright got fired
if you've been stealing money
right before Tupac died,
and you inside, and everything can be connected to you, what are you gonna do? Get this hot head in a situation. It just could have been that I'm gonna get this hot head in a situation, and if Tupac caught on tape doing something like he was doing, he going back to jail.
Claims. There's one thing you have to keep in mind. None of this has ever been confirmed as solid fact. Some details come from official reports, but a lot of it comes from rumors, street talk, and what people think happened. So at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide where you stand on the story. So let's rewind and step back into Las Vegas, the night that flipped the entire hip-hop world upside down. It was September 7, 1996. Tupac was in Vegas with Suge Knight to Mike Tyson take on Bruce Sumner. After the fight ended, things got messy real quick. Inside the MGM Grand Lobby, Tupac and Suge spotted Orlando Anderson, a known gang member from Compton, and it instantly turned into a confrontation. That scuffle became the last official footage ever recorded of Tupac while he was alive. A few hours later,
I had doubts about the story. I was like, man, Pac probably shot somebody. That's what I was thinking. Pac shot somebody, go with the depth. He probably popped somebody. And by the morning, I knew it was him, and I shot straight to Vegas.
So when you got to the hospital, how was that like? Because I heard that Pac, he was getting death threats when he was at the hospital. Like, people was calling up to the hospital making threats.
Yeah, it was very intense. A lot of emotions. People sad.
Ardent Lights shines with new features and familiar favorites through January 11th. Get tickets today.
What would I do with unlimited image generations with any model in Firefly? Make every model pose.
what? That's
Death threats. But we, we try to form some security detail, at least around the floor, around his room, because they had him on the first floor. But so me, Brother Watani, Storm, a few others, we try to secure the area, do as much as we can.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people was mad about that, man. I heard Gaddafi, he was real mad about Pac being on the first floor.
Yeah, Thug in Peace, my little brother Gaddafi, yeah, he was one of them. He was down with us. Yeah, we were pissed off. I'm like, this is an assassination attempt, right? And y'all got him on the first floor near a window. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science. You know what I mean? So we if they ain't going, it was like, if he can't be moved, then we gotta lock it down.
When you was at the hospital, right, how was Tupac condition? Because you got so many conflicting stories, right? You got some people that say that, Tupac was moving in the hospital, he was, talking in the hospital, but you being there, from your point of view, how was Tupac condition?
By the time I got there, remember I was coming from LA, so by the time I got there, he had tubes in his throat, in his nose, in his mouth, so he ain't talk to me, not verbally. He was conscious. He was trying to talk. He did want to talk, but he didn't actually verbalize any words. Always, that's one of my...
So that go against what Suge Knight was saying, talking about, I don't know.
Gonna be one of the biggest mysteries in my life, because he was trying to tell me something. He was trying so hard. He was shaking the bed. He was looking at me, with his big old eyes, and I know he was trying to tell me something, but I don't know.
Damn.
Something else I want to ask you, because I think it would be appropriate before we get off the biggest thing, last thing, because I know I did an interview, and they all gave me their reasons why Afeni pulled the plug because of his condition, but I mean, appropriate since you was his brother. Afeni, her decision to pull the plug on, from your view, what made her pull the plug? Respectfully.
Because he had already flatlined a couple of times. And she didn't want him to keep going through that. So I think it was like twice before she, let him go. And that's reasonable. You know what I mean? When I was, when I found out, I could live with more,
Yeah, man, sad, man. I heard if he would have survived, he would have never been the same Tupac. He would have never been able to rap no more.
Yeah, it hit him in his lungs, where the voice, yeah, he wouldn't have been the same.
Around 11:15 p.m., Tupac and Suge were cruising down Flamingo Road, sitting at a red light in Suge's BMW. Out of nowhere, a white Cadillac pulled up right beside them. Windows dropped, shots.
This is so crazy, bro. This is one of the most prolific rappers that ever picked up a mic, bro, and just gunned down and just
fired. The attack,
even if he would have survived, he wouldn't have been the same.
He let off multiple rounds, hitting Tupac 4 times. 2 shots to the chest, 1 to the arm, and 1 to the thigh. The entire situation went from Vegas nightlife to chaos in seconds. And that single moment changed the history of hip-hop forever. They rushed Tupac to University Medical Center, and for 6 long days he fought for his life until he was officially declared gone on September 13th. At least that's the version the world was given. But according to Moprim Shakur, that story has holes big enough to drive a truck through, and he's been calling them out for years.
Listen to this audio from Suge where he plays the audio from Badass and that, Snoop warned him not to go to Vegas because he knew something was going to happen. Yeah. And, I want to get your opinion on it.
Gas was on a situation saying that Snoop told him they can't go to the fight, can't go to the club, can't go to Vegas and stuff because something will happen, basically.
Dad was like, no, I'm not going to that. On the road with them, it's gonna be all the blood there, blah, 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 and none of the homies are gonna be there. And I was like, dang, I didn't really think of it like that. I don't really feel uncomfortable, but
I'm not that you're saying like, hey, like Snoop ain't going. Like, why would you want to roll? Why you don't roll like that? You roll death row and the homies roll. And I was like, you're right. So I ran back over there and I told Pac, like, Pac, I probably ain't gonna be able to roll.
Pac said, man, you go to fight with me. So Pac was like, you go to fight with me. After the fight, you go to the club.
Hold on.
You're still purchasing your lenses from your optometrist?
What are you doing? Come on.
Walk with me to...
Go to the club. And he said that Dad told him, well, you can't go, something's gonna happen. Basically, Pac or whoever. He said that he was living with his mother.
But for Snoop not to go on as close as there was, I mean, that is that's kind of mysterious, though. It's kind of mysterious.
And the Dad, so they had to listen to Dad and go to the fight.
So I ran back over there and I told Pac, like, Pac, I probably ain't gonna be able to roll. And he was like, that's what's up. He was like, well, I'll catch you, when I come back, and blah, blah, blah. And we chopped it up. And that was the last time I ever talked to him. Like, after when he got ready to leave, like we said our goodbyes, and that was the last time I ever seen him or talked to him in life.
Okay, so that I get what Suge's saying, but Badass didn't say that in that thing that Dad's told him something was gonna happen. So, so I don't know. He probably was see, that's some politics I don't know. You know what I mean?
So pretty much what Suge is insinuating is Snoop knew something was going to happen in Vegas, so he went to go tell Daz. Daz told Badass, and Badass tried to warn Chupa.
Bruh, I'm gonna just keep it, in my opinion, I don't think Snoop had anything or knew something was gonna happen to Puff. I'm just gonna, you know what I mean? I don't think Snoop, like, whatever he say now in the interviews be weird, but I don't think he would ever want something bad to happen to Pop, you know what I mean? So, I definitely don't, I don't think Snoop had anything to do with that, or, you know what I mean? And this is my opinion. No matter how many times we get up, we don't agree with his interviews, but come on, we ain't gonna say that Snoop knew something was gonna happen to Pac, and he ain't saying that. That's what I don't think happened, bro. That's just me, you know what I mean? So basically, I think, bro, they doing, you know what I mean? I think at the beginning, I remember Snoop used to try to say Suge had something to do with it, and I think now Suge saying Snoop, I don't think none of them had any, I know for a fact, God willing, I don't think Suge had anything will ever want somebody to hurt Pac, and I don't think Snoop will ever want somebody to hurt Pac. So I think they just gonna, they say, oh, you said this about me, I said it about you. That's what I'm getting out of the situation. You know what I mean? Badass was genuine, you know what I mean? See, when it comes to these type of things, these might be politics. I don't really know. Like, you know what I mean? That Suge saying something about Dad's so badass, so you know what I mean? These are things. It might be some politics, some LA politics or something they was going through. You know what I mean? But it's weird. It's very weird because Pac had a lot of love for Badass for sure. But man, that's the first time I heard something like that. I don't even know how to react.
Moprim says that from day one, nothing lined up the way it should have. There were strange details nobody could explain, conflicting accounts, and important police reports that somehow went missing like they evaporated in thin air. Even people who were close to Tupac started raising eyebrows, wondering if somebody had kept the truth locked away from them. In recent interviews, Moprim hasn't held back at all. He flat out said he does not believe the world ever got the full truth about what happened that night. He said, "We've been fed a story for nearly 30 years, but that doesn't mean it's the right one." That's a heavy statement, and he's standing on it. According to him, what bothers him the most is how certain details were handled.
The boy, Puffy called me though. Puffy called me back in the day. He called me and was like, I just want you to know I didn't have nothing to do with your brothers. I know who you are, but we never met. And I just want to call you man to man, let you know that I ain't have nothing to do with your brother's death. Now, why was he calling me, reaching out to me? Because LA Times had just dropped, it was in the early 2000s, LA Times had just dropped an article in the newspaper implicating him as well. I told him I appreciate the call, but the truth is yet to come out, so we gonna see.
This is how certain details are handled.
The boy Puffy called me though.
Oh, Puffy.
Puffy called me back in the day.
Puffy
He
called.
called me. He was like, I just want you to know I ain't have nothing to do with your brothers. You know, I know who you are, but we never met. And I just want to call you man to man, let you know that I ain't have nothing to do with your brother's death. Now, why was he calling me, reaching out to me? Because LA Times had just dropped, it was in the early 2000s, LA Times had just dropped an article in the newspaper implicating him as well. I told him I appreciate the call, but the truth is yet to come out, so we gonna see.
And I remember that article, man. And the guy that wrote that article, he actually did a few Tupac interviews when Tupac was still living. So, yeah, that's crazy, man. So, Puffy, he called you trying to plead his innocence.
Well, him and I think him and C's was on the radio out here, and Big Boy, shout out to Big Boy, he hit me up. He was like, yo, man, you know, Puffy, see, they want to talk to you about the whole situation about your brother. And, you know, especially back then, I wanted all the information I could get. And I heard what he said, but, you know, it's chaotic. I ain't know which way to go until you find out more information. And yeah, that was the early 2000s.
Did Little C say anything to you?
Not that I recall.
Yeah, that sounds like a guy that's guilty, man. Him calling you trying to plead his innocence.
Yeah, man, you know, he could have been trying to cover his ass, or he could have been sincere.
Tune in to GPB. It's a Georgia thing.
This sweater is breaking the internet, so we're giving you a deal. Because this is a fall and winter staple you need.
His ass, or he could have been sincere. We gonna see.
It's just too many attachments to Diddy, man. At some point, you got to start looking like, yo, what's going on? I mean, when Tupac got shot at Quad, you know, they was talking about Diddy. When Tupac got killed in Vegas, they was talking about Diddy. At some point, man, you got to start looking at them like, yo, what's going on, yo?
Yeah, and you know, you got people like, you know, Kading is out.
Greg Kading.
You know, doing interviews and talking about, you know, it be feeling like he got sympathy for Puffy because he was scared. Yeah, he was scared. Yes, I agree. I do agree. He was probably terrified for his life. So if that is the case, it's also quite feasible that he put up money to get Pop killed. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's weird, but we gonna see, time will tell. And on top of it, he had his own problems with Suge, you know, before Pop. So, yeah. He's scared, you know?
Or ignored. He pointed out the lack of proper follow-up from law enforcement, how suspiciously fast the investigation went cold, and how people acted like the case was wrapped before anyone even dug into it. Then Moprim dropped a bomb. He revealed that back in 2008, Diddy actually called the Shakur family personally, trying to assure them that he had nothing to do with Tupac's death, but Moprim wasn't convinced at all. He said something about that phone call felt strange, like Diddy was trying to distance himself before anybody even put his name into the conversation. That kind of timing raises questions, big ones. Fast forward to now, and things are getting even more intense. Diddy is currently facing federal racketeering charges, and reports are saying his name pops up 47 times in secret police recordings connected to Tupac's case. Nothing has been proven yet, but the timing is wild enough that people are starting to wonder if there's way more to this story than anyone expected.
If I know who killed Tupac, and not saying Tupac dead or alive, I'm saying if I ask me if I know who killed Tupac, I'm gonna say, hey, absolutely not. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, I don't get down like that. One thing people gotta realize, it's mother born and raised out here. Yeah. You both suspect the mother to live out here. Yeah. Because right now we got a lot of out-of-towners living out here, and they ain't saying nothing about it. Yeah, exactly. You'll have a 90-mother walk down the street and say, Suge Knight killed Tupac. Well, everybody knows off the top, I ain't the nigga killed Tupac, I'm the nigga protecting Tupac. Yeah. But at the same time, bitch-ass Puffy can give him a mother star, and every rat in the world said he didn't want to kill Tupac. Yeah. Or had him shot. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if you notice, it was a rat
on television saying he the one did the shooting, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, right?
Right.
If you think about it, right?
Right.
Why you think nobody been arrested if they said they the one killed Tupac?
Because they're snitching to the police, so they ain't
Not
gonna
that
kill
the
him.
snitching, be smart, son. Because Tupac not
Ain't
dead.
smart as you should be.
Tupac not dead. If he was dead.
You can tell Shania fucked up. He just stoned. He said Tupac ain't dead. Like, yeah, you fucked up. Talking about
Moprim
Tupac
has a
ain't
theory.
dead.
He believes the truth has always been hiding in plain sight, but covered up by people with power, influence, and money. The kind of people who can make problems disappear with a phone call. And then there's Snoop Dogg. Snoop has always been careful when talking about Tupac's passing. They were label mates under Death Row Records, and even though they had their ups and downs, Snoop never denied how deep their bond ran. In older interviews, Snoop talked about visiting Tupac in the hospital after the shooting. He said that when he walked in and saw him, he could barely recognize the friend he knew. But what really caught people's attention recently is Snoop's new tone when speaking about that night. Instead of repeating the same story he always told, Snoop hinted that a lot of things behind the scenes didn't make sense. He said the security arrangements that night were off, the protection around Tupac was unusually light, and even the police response felt slower than what you would expect in a high-profile attack. Snoop didn't claim Tupac survived, Russ. He never said that. But the way he spoke made people start asking questions again. His words gave new life to the mystery, pushing folks to look closer at what really happened and who might have been involved. Was the shooting just a random moment of chaos, or was it part of something bigger, something carefully set in motion behind the scenes? When you put Snoop's quiet doubts together with Moprim's blunt statements, it becomes clear that even the people who were closest to Tupac still feel like the story they were given doesn't add up, and they still don't have real closure. This is where everything gets messy, because this is the part of the story that has kept investigators, fans, and insiders arguing for almost 30 years. For decades, whispers have linked Diddy to the situation surrounding Tupac's shooting. Again, these are allegations, not confirmed facts, but they've followed him since the 90s. Now that Diddy is facing multiple federal investigations tied to racketeering and organized crime, those old theories are storming back into the conversation. Reports claim investigators found tapes and files inside police archives where Diddy's name was mentioned in connection with the shooting. That alone has people raising eyebrows. What really turned the heat up was Keffi D, the man recently charged in Tupac's shooting.
Y'all know this AI driven speech. It's Keffi D, not Keffi D.
Supposedly offered money to target both Tupac and Suge Knight. Those statements are still being picked apart by lawyers and investigators, but they reopened the debate about whether the East Coast West Coast feud was ever really about music, or if it was covering something way more serious. For years, Diddy denied having anything to do with any of this, but now with investigators reviewing new material, Moprim Shakur and a huge number of fans are wondering if some truth has been hiding underneath the noise this whole time. Then come the inconsistencies, the cold details that refuse to go away. The official coroner's report listed Tupac's height and weight wrong.
Last time you saw him, and where was you the day he was shot in Vegas?
Wow, the last time I saw him, he was laying in the bed, holding on to his last breath. Man, well, I had seen him before that because we left New York. We had just left New York. I had got off the radio station with Angie Martinez, and that's when me and him like clashed because she asked me on the air, "How do you feel about Puffy and Biggie?" And I said what I felt. They're my homeboys, I love them. When I got back to the hotel, it was a whole nother atmosphere. Like, he sent his homeboy up to get the bud from me as opposed to him coming to get it. Mutar came and got the bud. Pop on some bud. Why you out there?
Today, we're making Coleman's buffalo chicken dip. Trying to get nice and smooth.
Get it. Mutar came and got the bud. Pop on some bud. Hold on. Tell him to come up here. He ain't coming up here. Give me the bud. I'm gonna take it to him. So I felt funny. And then my uncle said something about, they downstairs talking and blah, blah, blah. So when we got on the plane to go back to LA the next day, Suge didn't let none of my security ride with me. I had to ride on the plane with him, his homies, and Pop. And it was the most uncomfortable ride I ever had in my life because my nigga nothing tell me the whole ride. And that's a 5-hour flight on a private plane.
Yeah.
So I walk up to him like maybe 3 hours into the flight, sit next to him like, you going to Vegas, cuz? He turned on me like this. start talking to somebody else. I'm like, all right. So I go in the back, put the blanket on my head, knife in my hand, fork in my hand, and just sleep the rest of the ride. Because I feel like they finna try to do something to me. So when I get off the plane, we land, he walked out. I got a Rolls Royce, he got a Rolls Royce. He walked down the steps, I walked down the steps. We meet right here. I'm like, cuz, you going to Vegas? He do me like this. Went his way and he went my way. Next time I get a call, he was like, turn on the news, guys. I'm at Warren G House. We turn on the news, see yellow tape, Suge BMW. Call Suge, he like, yeah, they about to go, come on out here now. Drive out there, I see him in the bed, laid up, no words, no conversation. I see Jesse Jackson, his mama. His mama pulled me to the side. She made me feel like a real player. She tells me, my baby loved you, and I love you, and I don't care about. She just hit me with what I needed to hear. You know, coming from my mother. She was strong at the time. Everybody else was crying and breaking down. She was real strong. And she just held me real tight and she just said a prayer with me. And I know I went there, I hollered at him for about 20 minutes and I went in the bathroom, I fainted, I threw up. I just was like, I was gone. Like my whole, because me and my homie wasn't straight. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not even gonna be able to apologize to him or even just to tell him, I feel you, I'm wrong or whatever. We never got that day, and that's the way it ended with me and him, to where he passed away and I never got a chance to, you know, apologize or even just tell him, you know, what is it? How can we fix this?
His weight was written as more than 10 pounds above his real number. The report also mentioned tattoos that didn't match the...
But you know what would have been crazy, if Pop would have lived and he would have brought Big and Pop together and it would have just been a conglomerate with the East and the West Coast and everybody in America. That would have been some ill shit.
Ones he actually had. And to make it even stranger, the doctor who reportedly handled his autopsy vanished once the case was closed. And then there's the cremation situation, one of the most suspicious parts of the whole story. The man who supposedly cremated Tupac allegedly retired the very next day after being paid a large amount of cash. Nobody has been able to track him down since. Add to that the lack of photos. No bystander pictures, no hospital images, no raw footage from the aftermath. For someone as famous as Tupac, the silence and secrecy around those final hours still shocks people today. It left the public with more questions than answers. Even Suge Knight added to the confusion. In an interview, he said, "Nobody's seen Pac dead, they just said he was." And coming from the man who was sitting right next to him when the bullets flew, that statement pushed the mystery even deeper. This is where the theories start to reach far beyond US borders. One of the most popular beliefs is that Tupac didn't die. He escaped to Cuba with the help of his aunt, Assata Shakur, a political activist who received asylum there after escaping from prison in the 80s. Fans have long believed that Tupac used those family connections to disappear into Cuban society, living under a new identity where nobody could touch him. That theory exploded again after federal agents reportedly found references to Cuban files during raids on Diddy's properties earlier this year. Nothing official has been confirmed, but the discovery added even more smoke to a fire that's already been burning for decades. Over the years, people have claimed to spot him everywhere. A man who looked exactly like Tupac chilling in Havana bars, photos of someone fishing on the Cuban coast, and even rumors of him popping up in Malaysia. None of these sightings have ever been verified, but they keep the legend alive because people truly believe he might have found a way out. Some fans think that if Tupac did survive, it wouldn't just be luck. It would require serious cooperation from hospital staff, law enforcement, and maybe even high-level intelligence agencies who had the power to hide someone permanently.
Of late, Puffy, he been showing Tupac love on social media, man. Have you seen it? What you think about it?
Pony and bologna on a pickle sandwich. Want me to say it again? Huh? It's phonier than bologna on a pickle sandwich. Yes, he did idolize Tupac. We all knew that. We knew that about some of the speeches he said. He said the same shit that came out of Pac's mouth. But he didn't like him.
That's crazy.
If you ain't like that life, how you gonna love him in his death? Oh, you glad to see? now. All right, okay.
That's a very strong word to use, man. So you feel like Puffy, he idolized Tupac, and you really believe that?
Yeah, you idolize that dude. You gonna go and make it your business? I don't know. To sleep with every chick that he slept with? Or maybe the chicks was just making the round. I don't know. But he made it his business to sleep with every chick that Pac was sleeping with. Pac was the first one that came out with that yellow and black Versace shirt. What Pac gonna do? I want that same shirt right there.
So you feel like Puffy, getting with some of the same females that Tupac got with, like Sally Richardson and Sarah Chapman, you think he only got with them because Tupac had them? That's the only reason why he got with them.
They probably was inspired because they was fine, but they put a plus on it because Pac had them.
Whether or not any of that is true, one thing is clear. The world still feels like the full truth has never been told. A cover-up that big would mean layers of power, silence, and people working together to keep the truth locked away. And that's why the story scares people even now. But even with all the rumors and theories out there, Moprim Shakur and the people closest to the family never once stood up and said Tupac is alive. What they've always insisted is simple. The truth about what happened has never been fully told, and someone out there still knows more than they're admitting. To understand why so many believe Tupac might have faked his own passing, you have to look at the man's own art. Just before everything went down, Tupac dropped his final album under the name Machiavelli, a direct nod to Niccolo Machiavelli, the Italian thinker who literally wrote about faking your own death to outsmart your enemies. That wasn't an accident. Tupac was intentional with everything he did. On the album cover, he was shown crucified, a bold symbol of death and resurrection. Inside the music, fans found what they believed were hidden messages. Lines about escaping danger, coming back after 7 days, and living forever through legacy. Even the full title, The Don Illuminati, The 7-Day Theory, added more smoke to the fire. Tupac reportedly finished the entire album in only 7 days, which fans tied to biblical symbolism about rebirth. Some people took all these clues as proof that Tupac didn't just see danger coming, he planned for it. Others say it was simply a genius artist expressing fear, pressure, and mortality the way he always did, through poetry, metaphors, and raw emotion. But whether it was a blueprint or just brilliant storytelling.
I'm talking about before Tupac, I didn't know nothing about no Machiavelli. I didn't know nothing about that shit. And that's crazy. He named the album that.
The Machiavelli symbolism became the heartbeat of every theory that followed. And no matter where you stand on the debate, one thing can't be denied. Tupac's story has lived longer, louder, and stronger than almost anyone from those generation. His influence is everywhere. Music, fashion, activism, the streets, the culture, the conversations. Whether people think he left too soon or slipped into a new life somewhere else, the mystery itself has kept his name immortal. Every new generation meets Tupac not just as a rapper, but as a symbol. Someone who stood for truth, resistance, and courage when it mattered most. And now, with Moprem stepping forward again, pushing for answers, there's this feeling in the air that maybe, just maybe, the world might finally learn something new about that night. As the investigation around Diddy keeps unfolding and new documents start to surface, and questions about missing evidence, hidden motives, and law enforcement decisions are getting louder. People want to know what was overlooked, what was ignored, and what was covered up. But if history has taught us anything, stories involving fame, power, and huge money are almost never simple. At the end of the day, Tupac Shakur's story is bigger than a mystery. It's a reflection of how truth can be shaped, twisted, or buried by the people who fear it the most. Moprem Shakur's words remind us that time doesn't erase unanswered questions. Snoop Dogg's cautious tone reminds us that even eyewitnesses can walk away confused, and the investigation surrounding Diddy made people wonder whether justice is finally catching up to secrets that have been buried for decades. Whether Tupac truly passed that night in Las Vegas or whether something far more complicated happened, his presence in culture is undeniable. His music still speaks, his message still inspires, and his mystery still keeps people debating after all these years. So maybe the real question isn't whether Tupac is alive or gone. Maybe the real question is this: why has the world never been allowed to know the full truth? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.
And y'all check out Star Snitch. They got some great content. We're gonna trap more Ross. Well, trap more Ross channel, but it's trap Lord Ross.
Employee records, payroll that is fast, accurate, and Trapmore gang, time could well be running out for David, because the latest news that's just come out, while the LAPD and the medical examiners and TMZ are all going to war with each other, fighting about what's actually true, behind the scenes, news has just broken that an LA grand jury has been convened to look at the evidence around David's Tesla, and this might mean that an indictment or an arrest could be following. It might be David, it might be Neo, it might be other people around him. But let's take a look at it, and we're going to find out exactly how close we might actually be to this case being solved.
So y'all check out Trap More Ross. But yeah, man, this gonna be probably my last one, but it's pretty much gonna be a good one.
This has just come out in the
Breaking news
today, in the last few hours, I think, that an LA grand jury is hearing the mystery of a dead teen stuffed in the trunk of David's Tesla, sources say. Okay, then, reporting madness. This is the news we've been waiting for, okay? Not quite the news we've been waiting for. You know we're waiting for that big news. But this is major. An LA County grand jury is hearing evidence related to the death of the teenage girl whose body was discovered stuffed inside the trunk of David's Tesla earlier this year. Now, it says here, although the LA Police Department has publicly declined to characterize the girl's death as a homicide, a recent court filing by an LAPD detective referred to the case as a murder investigation. Now, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office has begun presenting evidence to what's known as an investigative grand jury. According to one of the sources who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the case with the media, one of the sources said the grand jury was in session for several days in mid-November. Now, it's the 26th as I'm recording this video. We're now officially in late November, but in mid-November, the grand jury was in session for several days. What were they looking at? Now, it's unclear whether prosecutors had completed their presentation of evidence, but no doubt evidence is being presented, and it says that prosecutors may convene an investigative grand jury to subpoena witnesses and compel other evidence, including videos. Such investigative panels may recommend charges, but cannot themselves return an indictment. But this is a big step towards justice.
Because somebody need to lock that man up, bro. You already messing with a young child, bro. Like, just lock him up, bro. Like, this is, I don't get it, bro.
It says, in addition to the...
I ain't never seen nothing like this before, bro. They got all this evidence with this man, and he messing with a minor. She's dead. And he walk around like he you know.
To law enforcement sources, a court petition provided to the Times on Monday contained a GJ number referencing the existence of a grand jury. It is a real thing. It's happening. A lot of things have been kept secret. The medical examiner is fighting with the LAPD. The LAPD is sealing the records. They don't want any information to get out about this case, okay? They're probably pissed that I'm doing all this reporting on the case. But ultimately, it's a free country. You've got free speech in America, unlike England. But anyway, that's another story. In that document, LAPD Detective Joshua Byers of the Robbery Homicide Division successfully persuaded a judge to bar the LA County Medical Examiner from divulging autopsy results and other details related to the girl's death that would otherwise be public. This stuff is usually public. Normally, this would be available to the public. All will come out eventually, and trust me, they're not just loafing doing nothing behind the scenes. He says it was Byers who characterized the probe into the girl's death as an investigation into murder, according to the document. Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman, who handles some of the county's most high-profile murder cases, has called several witnesses before the grand jury, according to one of the law enforcement sources. Who might they be? Could it be Neo? Could it be Asia? Could it be Steve Fisher, the private investigator? He said on Twitter he can't talk about this case anymore. Does that mean that he is involved? Has he been called into the grand jury? I don't know. Maybe I'm about to get called into the grand jury. I don't have any inside information on the case, so definitely don't try and bring me to the grand jury. But clearly I know more than the average person. It says Silverman did not immediately respond to a request for comment Wednesday. The DA's office said in a statement it could not disclose any information about grand jury proceedings. LAPD spokesman referred the Times to a statement issued earlier this week that didn't address the existence of the grand jury. An attorney for David also didn't respond to comment. Nobody has anything to say. Okay, they're saying detectives have been looking into this month. There's all these different things about the car. We heard all this stuff before. We don't need you to react to all this stuff. Okay, this is bad. All right, this is bad. So I want to show you just some of the I want to show you some of the backstory behind this and what everybody's thinking. Okay, so over on Reddit, they're reacting to this news. There's a bunch of posts who are saying, "Oh shoot, an indictment is coming very soon. Made my day. Finally, some much needed action. Arrest him today. Finally, he should have been arrested since the day the body was discovered." I wholeheartedly agree with that. I've said it a million times. If I got caught with a body in my trunk, I'm not expecting to go home, bro. I'm not even gonna fight it. It's like, yeah, bro, a body in my trunk, like, let me go sit down in the jail while you work this out. Because clearly, what I've got going on here is too much for me to be walking around. But apparently, for David, it's all good. But yeah, people are saying Celeste will have justice. Okay, am I crazy, or does it not say they're investigating David specifically? It says hearing evidence doesn't necessarily mean specifics, though it does say the grand jury might possibly be subpoenaing witnesses. Hopefully this all means they are moving and we will have real charges soon. It says hopefully they apprehend him quick. You can't see family for Thanksgiving. It's all friends anyway. His family is evil. People are so happy to see progress. May Celeste get every bit of justice she deserves. This child tight, and the reality of what happened to Celeste will have all of their stomachs in knots. Anxiety and paranoia eating at their consciousness. I agree, that would be good. Okay. People are saying this has to be the leak.
I mean, I agree with everything they was saying. Like, you don't need to be on the street, bro.
This case of all time, the LAPD is surely chafing as being portrayed as dawdling, glad to have it off their desks. Investigative grand jury plus the delay suggests that David and whoever did a thorough job locking up their devices and turning off any Tesla cameras. So they're building a circumstantial case, but they still have location services from the car and social media, and they're hinting they found something at Santa Barbara. So David or whoever will turn on each other. He's an idiot. So I'm sure he thought he was being smart, but messed up. Okay. So there's more posts about this. This is the talk of the town on Reddit today. Okay, I didn't make this up, all right? This is actually all over the place, all right? People are glad the case is moving forward. People are placing the information. Also, this part, investigators haven't sought the performer's cooperation. What? They haven't even contacted David since September 8th? This makes sense. Or maybe the other side of the coin is we don't need to talk to him. We got everything. We're just going to let him sweat it out. I think that is actually quite interesting. That is actually very, very interesting. So he previously apparently said no one's off the table, including him, David. Howell said, contrary to some reports, investigators haven't sought his cooperation. Waiting 2.5 months to even talk to him. The only way that would make sense if law enforcement have so much info they don't even need to attempt to fill in the blanks. People are saying, holy effing shoot. In session almost the entire month. Other people are saying it hasn't been the whole month. There's enough probable cause and evidence to move forward in an indictment, and it's been turned over to the district attorney's office. From there, the DA in David's case will contact his attorney and read his charges and arrange for him to turn himself in. If he elects not to turn himself in, a warrant will be issued, okay? People say, I have a feeling David will have the luxury of turning himself in to spare him from a very public arrest and have him on body cam. Crazy. The coziness of the justice system leaves a lot to be desired. David should be treated the same way as anybody else accused. Now,
for real,
a lot of people have been wondering.
When they walk in there with the that's true, bro. Cause when they do the I don't know if y'all know they got a thing called To Catch a Predator, and he done went to multiple channels with this show. He's still doing it now. Chris Hansen, bro. When them folks come in there, they going to jail, bro, just for talking to a minor. They ain't even did nothing with a minor yet. They might have had, depending on what their history was. But I'm just saying, like, when they go in there, bro, you going to jail, bro.
Our boy, perhaps boyfriend. Okay. They're wondering. They are wondering, why is the link that I have pasted not coming up? It is about to come up. It is coming, it's loading. Okay, brilliant. One second, let me get this working. Investigated grand jury forcing people to testify. Did Neo leave the country? It says what's being alluded to. Possible
Neo
witnesses
gotta go
not
to
wanting to talk to the LAPD. Are we to understand that Neo?
All of them, if they really wanted to get away, they probably would just had to go to Bali, bro. Go to Bali. There's no U.S. extradition. Like, it's certain countries like Interpol work with, but they don't work with Bali for some reason. And you know, you go there, they can't come and get you from there.
Being subpoenaed to come back to the US to testify? Why wouldn't they want to clear up their involvement with David and the life and death of Celeste? If not Neo, then who? There looks to be a few people that avoided meeting with the police. Should we be surprised if more than a couple of people are arrested? This is what I gather from the TMZ update you linked, is that the grand jury will allow them to force Neo to come back for questioning. I've seen some relatives say that he is out of the country. If that's the case, it makes perfect sense why they would want the medical examiner's findings sealed for now. Consider that if they're relying on witnesses to make this case, they'll need to keep details sealed, so the defense can't argue that information was publicly known. For example, if Neo returns, provides details no one else could have known unless they were involved, then he's a credible witness. If the details he's giving are already out there in the public sphere, there is reasonable doubt and his credibility could be questioned, which is good for the defense. Okay? We're saying that F-boy better not do anything, the canines will bite his thing a chick, okay? Look, I would definitely like to see a few of these guys around David sweating and finding out the hard way. But look, okay, what does this grand jury mean? This is from the David Idiot subreddit. LA Times confirms grand jury is on the case. Here's what it actually means. Here's what the article means in plain English. A grand jury isn't something you convene for fun. It means prosecutors are actively building a criminal case. You only use a grand jury when there's evidence a crime occurred, there are multiple witnesses, there are...
But this shit going to the grand jury, bro, like, it's probably going... If the grand jury look at this shit and don't, you know what I'm saying, do nothing, I'm a question, you know, their choice, or if they say that it's not worth looking into.
Digital trails to follow the charges that could be serious, and prosecutors need full subpoena power. This isn't just...
Because at the end of the day, we need to know why you talking to a young girl. Second off, what was the reason to kill the girl and put her in the car? What happened? Like, we need to know what happened, bro. Like,
it's an investigation anymore. This is pre-charging. It's coming, people. I'm telling you, it's coming. Think of it like a series of LAPD use the case. 3, grand jury, private courtroom phase. Here, 4, indictment, formal charges. It's coming. 5, arrest and prosecution once your grand jury is open and prosecutors get basically every tool they need. 6, they forgot 6. Life, buddy. That's number 6. Can't forget about 6, gang. Cannot forget about 6. Do not play with me. What can they do now? Subpoena any person.
6 life.
And it's not optional. If you're subpoenaed, you show up. This includes mods, friends, assistants, people in private Discord servers, alt accounts, insiders, anyone who communicated with them or each other. I'd like to see, if I'm adding people to the list, because I have been following this very closely, I would like to see people from his label, music managers, anybody that was at that show, family members and relatives. They're saying Celeste was backstage beside the stage, sitting with David's family, sitting with the man, sitting with people, but the man, hey, let's hear what you all have to say. You're all quiet. You're all replying to TikToks. Let's see what that subpoena send. That's just my opinion. Okay, that's just my opinion. That's just my personal desires. I don't know. I can possibly say definitively what's going on, but I would love to see a little subpoena popping out for each and every one of you clowns that enabled this disgusting behavior, allegedly, in my opinion. Subpoena anything: phones, Discord logs, private messages, Snapchats, Google data, Airbnb, hotel, Tesla logs, banking info, not a $9,000 a month payment under the $10,000 limit getting subpoenaed, GPS history, Santa Barbara perhaps, Uber and Lyft logs, Cash App, PayPal, NDAs, burner phones, deleted files, all of it. TikTok accounts perhaps, burner TikTok accounts. Deleted does not equal gone. The providers still have it. David, you swear, right? You swear, you thought, I deleted those TikTok, all them TikTok reposts.
This shit. Bro, they don't put that man in jail, bro. I'm gonna be upset, bro. Cause I got 2 daughters, bro. I got 2 daughters, bro. And I will be upset about this.
From American Psycho that I reposted, I took them off my page. They're gone, right? Some of that stuff that I did, it's not on Reddit, right? So it's
Power Move isn't direct eye contact. It's supply chain visibility with FedEx. The new Power Move.
David, man. David. David, man. Right, it's 2025, my G. It's 2025, my G. We're gonna find that stuff. Put people under oath. If someone lies, that's perjury and a felony. Damn, managers, labels, talking about, oh, we didn't get no emails about no persons. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure under the penalty of perjury, sure? Penalty of perjury? NDAs are meaningless now. A subpoena overrides any NDA. Refusing to testify because of an NDA doesn't protect anyone. You just go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. What charges could be on the table? This is a great post, by the way. Shout out to Foresight Waffler for this excellent post. What charges could be on the table? Depending on what the DA presents, the grand jury could be asked to consider. I like the little fire emojis too, because this is fire. Homicide-related charges, murder, manslaughter, criminal negligence, causing
Ain't no
abuse,
manslaughter.
exploitation because Celeste was under.
This shit had to been thought out.
She was 14 when she died. She was 14, man. This is so.
I thought the girl was fit. She 14. Come on, bro. Y'all niggas tripping now, bro. You tripping, bro. You tripping, dog. I mean, 14, 15, it don't even matter, bro. Like, I mean, if I, that's crazy, bro. Like, that's insane, my nigga. That's nasty work, bro.
Fucked up. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna swear. Fucked up, man. It's so messed up. Found the day after her 15th birthday that she never got to see. Evidence tampering with moving the body. Cleaning locations, wiping.
So she was killed when she was 14, but she was found after she turned 15. Okay, now I get it. I see what they're saying.
Laptops, kidnapping, or unlawful restraint if she was transported without legal consent. These fire emojis making me hot. I'm gonna have to take off my sweater. I'm feeling the heat. I'm feeling like David, man. I'm feeling the heat. Conspiracy, if multiple people played a role, not Neo, not Asia, no way, couldn't possibly, in my opinion. And for the people around him, there are absolutely real possibilities. Accessory after the fact. Oh, gonna be some trouble, gonna be some subpoenas in the mail, man. Helping cover anything up, even after the fact. Obstruction of justice. Deleting Discord servers. Oh no. What's that guy's name for the server? I can't even remember that weirdo guy. Was Zerks? What's that Zerks name? Zerks. What? Zerks, man. It's hot for you, Zerks, man. Wiping messages, lying to investigators, witness intimidation, tampering, threats, coercing NDAs, harassment, doxing, conspiracy, coordinating stories, not the fake stories on TMZ. Oh no, don't tell me. Don't subpoena Harvey too. Deleting evidence together to help hide things, financial red flags, asset concealment, not moving the properties into your mama's name. That couldn't possibly be part of this, could it, in my opinion? If prosecutors believe he transferred assets to, oh no, that's exactly what I was thinking. To avoid seizure or liability. I think David's going to have a seizure when he sees that subpoena.
Damn.
He begun transferring property and business assets.
They say he put, damn, bro, like, so you moving real, damn, the way he moving is real slick and sly like type shit. Like, yeah, I think he might have did
September, which is the exact type of activity a grand jury examines for intent.
I mean, we know you out here with a child. We know you out here with a child, bro. But this right here, dog, you a murderer, bro. You sick, dog.
Assets before charges. It is a cookout, people. This includes anyone who participated in covering things up or hiding information. Zerk, Safia, Neo, Asia, Celeste, Herrera, the fake Celeste. If the fake Celeste was used as a decoy to cover this up, you can be cooked too, and it's delicious. It's actually a cookout. Other mobs, managers, anyone else with inside knowledge who acted to bury it. A lot of people are going to be sweating after this one. A lot of people are going to be watching this. I'm talking to you. A lot of people following this case that have done some of these things. You're going to be sort of feeling the heat. You might want to take your sweater off as well, man. You might want to take your little Shackleware sweater off at one time, all right? This is actually so fucked up. This is so fucked up. I can't believe it. Every deleted message, every fake story, every lie, the grand jury will see all of this. Now, justice for Celeste. Some people are in deep, deep shit.
Yep.
Facts. Indeed.
Somebody
in the
in
book
trouble.
that everyone has. Hopefully they're cooked. In SF's words, cooked.
Anchorage is a place for unforgettable wild.
I hope they don't miss anything out, especially people from David's Discord server are very sus. What trips me out is the grand jury's been going on for 2 weeks, which more than likely means arrests are very, very soon. That's why the past couple of days, everything's been so crazy and everyone's been talking out. It's getting close. Let's effing go. Thank you so much for an informative break. That was actually an exceptional breakdown. That was an insanely good breakdown. Massive respect to the person who put this together. Says that's amazing that they're at the stage of a grand jury. Am I correct that a grand jury determines if the car F goes to trial? I don't actually know what that means. Am I being dumb? If the car F goes to trial? I know grand jury and a trial jury are sworn to secrecy, but with a grand jury you cannot tell any details even years after, no? I have so many questions. Is it normal for Google, Snapchat, Tesla, etc. to act so quickly in okaying subpoenas to obtain records? I assume digital forensics are using cell site or other digital tools to delete files. Sorry if these are silly questions. I'm blown away at how much manpower this took from the beginning. Considering
this needs to be studied. They need to study this creep right here, bro.
How the LAPD
he's like I don't know if y'all know the dark side of the Pied Piper story, but y'all gotta look into it. The dark side of the Pied Piper story. Like, this remind me of this right here.
Now, so many cases, they're working overtime from the start. Such good news. Justice for Celeste. Yes, they can determine if the evidence presented is enough to follow through the indictment. So that means that no matter what, if you're subpoenaed, you have to go no matter what. The heat is turned up so much that I need to actually hydrate myself with currently drinking. I want to say I'm not even trolling. It's actually not trolling, but I'm drinking Liquid Death iced tea right now. It's very nice. That's not even anything to do with it. I'm just telling you that. Anyway, getting this stuff. Okay. Basically, this is insane. Okay. Now, a lot of people are saying they can't wait to see David's mugshot. Okay. They're saying the arrest is coming. Got my fidget toy. The arrest is imminent. They're saying we can't wait to see David's mugshot. Hopefully any day now. I hope the trial is televised so the world can see that POS for what he truly is. They're saying it's California, so it will be. We're going to get the O.J. Simpson style trial. This is actually going to be insane. The Asia, Neo, and David mugshots will be memorable. People saying they can't wait. You're going to be sad when he walks, but at least we know the truth. No more convincing. Down vote for that. He might walk. Dad is a pretty big deal. Down vote for that. No, he's not. There's nothing said of importance regarding his father. Here's a spoon to be fed with until you get out of boot camp. You're dismissed. So what the hell is going on? People think he might himself, but I don't think. I feel like if anything, he thinks he's going to beat. I think he's a very arrogant person, and I think he is actually thinking he's going to beat this and he's going to sort this out now.
So you never know. He might sort it out. Will try to fight the charges because he ain't gonna be able to beat the charges. But he might do the other thing too, dog. Like, you never know. Like, hey, inquiring minds want to know. We got our rabbit ears up to the street.
Before I wrap this video up, okay, I just want to cover something else. This is a little bit of kind of like housekeeping. Do I want to get into this? You know what? I'm going to break this down more in another video. I'll come back with another video and go in a little bit more deeply. But what I'll do is I'll just give you one little teaser of kind of the topic that I want to talk about. So there's been this whole thing. There's been a big beef between the LAPD and the medical examiner, right? And I think what I'll do actually is I'll come back on tomorrow and I'll do like a full deep dive just on that, because I think that's really interesting, and the implications of the LAPD and the medical examiner kind of having a weird little beef at the moment is actually like very insane. It's very strange.
Yeah, this like I said, I've never seen a case like this before ever in history, bro.
And honestly, I feel like a lot of people are just like, what the hell? Like, how's the medical examiner and the LAPD actually having a beef and they're at odds publicly? Now, I'll get into that more in another video, but I did want to point out this post because I feel like this actually, a lot of people have been on the LAPD's head, you know, myself too. When this all kicked off, I felt like, yo, like, why are they not getting, why is not no arrest? I assumed if I was in the same shoes as David, I would be getting arrested immediately. And that's like my faith in the traditional justice system, as far as I have an expectation that if I get caught with a body in my trunk, I'm not sleeping on my bed that night, with my sweet, comfy, lovely king-size mattress that night. I'm assuming I'm sleeping in a one-bed cot and smelling the next man's dookie. But
Garden Lights shines with new features and
that's true.
through January 11th.
Why you gotta think about that type of shit, bro? Like, bro, why would you do that, bro? You just giving up your freedom, bro. Like, you put yourself in a cage when you
apparently, that's not how it works. Okay, and a lot of people have felt like the LAPD had let them down, but I feel like this post is interesting and people are basically defending the LAPD. And I feel like now that we hear about this grand jury, I feel like it's very fair to say, look, clearly people are doing their jobs and things are happening behind the scenes. The wheels of justice are moving slowly, but they're moving nonetheless. This says the LAPD and LA prosecutors are doing their jobs, and this wild speculation is everyone on here just anxious for David to be punished. All of this, including the latter, is normal. And I appreciate this because a lot of people, they've hated on me for making videos about the story. They've been upset about the subreddits or, you know, the investigators or the TikTokers. But I do actually think not only is it important to have a free press, to have free speech, to have people have their opinions, I think it's also important for a community to stand up and say, why we can't live in a society where you have dead bodies found in your trunk and you just get to go home. That's not, I'm not cool with that. If my neighbor, shout out to my neighbor, if my neighbor gets caught, if I'm out walking the dog and I'm smelling rotten meat every single day in a parked Tesla, illegally parked, and I eventually phone it in and it turns out there's a dead body, I'm not trying to wave good morning to my neighbor no more. You need to be in jail till we work this shit out. So I feel like the public is really trying to demand answers, and I feel like that's completely reasonable. And I think the creators that are talking about this, the investigators,
I mean, they said they smelled the shit. They said they smelled a rotten body in the car, bro. That's sad, bro. Like, 14 years old.
Steve Fisher, even TMZ, as much as people are saying they got things wrong and they're running defense for David, at the end of the day, this is a major story. This is like O.J. Simpson trial. This is going to be like the O.J. Simpson trial for this generation.
Bro, this shit bigger than the O.J. Simpson. Cause like, bro, it's like, bro, this nigga walking around like ain't shit happened. The fuck going on? Like, bro, what's going on? What y'all got going on, big dog?
I don't know, can you even, like, is he really, I feel like he's now, because this story is so high profile, he's kind of getting on the level of O.J. Simpson in notoriety, but as far as actual cultural impact and relevance, I don't know, a lot of people haven't heard of David before this sec, but I do feel like everybody is just trying to play their part, we're all trying to make sense of what's going on, and really the only person who is out of line is the person that did this. So I thought I'd try and post a more grounded post than I usually see on these subreddits. By subreddits, I mean the big three. Hey, shout out the big three, r/Celeste, r/David2, and r/David. Shout out the big three, but there is only big me. Anyway, I think much of the anger and frustration we're seeing is from the deprived and the horrific nature of this crime, plus a mix of non-Americans, youth, and armchair sleuths who are unfamiliar with the American legal system. Everything we've seen so far, including the lack of arrest and the length of time it took to name David as a suspect, and the insane media speculation about frozen bodies, is normal in a high-profile case such as this. The founders of the nation deliberately made the legal system as it is to ensure that not just anybody could be accused of a crime without powerful evidence on behalf of the state, DA, or government. Good point. I personally believe that David is a disgust. This is their opinion. They personally believe David is a disgusting child predator who probably killed Celeste Rivas Hernandez in a fit of rage after some sort of argument and fear of her exposing the nature of the relationship with the help of some accomplices. I totally agree. Totally agree. But my opinion and feelings are irrelevant. What TMZ posts is irrelevant. The grand jury is secret for that reason. Strip away the fame, the music, the tabloid sensationalism, and this murder investigation and speed of process is pretty normal. The only problem is we have a Casey Anthony type situation where the jury verdict is severely disconnected from public opinion. But that's relatively normal too in a high profile case like this. Okay?
Oh, hell no.
You can't.
Hell no.
We're all trying to get to the bottom of this. There is an insane amount of public interest in this story. It's a bizarre story. I don't think is there any other celebrity that's been caught with a body in their trunk? Like celebrity found with body in trunk. And then I'm gonna go celebrity found with body in trunk. But I'm gonna go, let's say like before 2024. And sometimes the SEO messes up. Actor found dead in trunk, buried at Rio. Actor Jefferson Mercado found dead in a trunk. That's indexed wrong, so these shouldn't actually be there. 1993, a mummified body was found in, like nothing like this has ever happened. Nothing like this has ever happened.
That's why I kept saying this shit before. I was like, bro, I ain't never seen this type of shit before. Like, and the man walk around out here like shit, we cool, I'm cool, nigga, what? What's going on?
This is not a famous singer with billions of streams. David had 5 billion streams under his belt before this.
They said nigga got 5 billion streams, bro. I'm lucky to get a little million. I got over 1 billion streams, but damn, they got 5 billion, bro. You know how much money that is, bro.
Nothing like this has ever happened.
Good
So I don't think anybody's at fault for being really interested in this story. Like, this is up there with the OJ story now. 2 people died in the OJ story, but the body wasn't found in a trunk. I feel like more effort has been made to cover this up. I feel like OJ actually probably was lucky to have caught this case at a time when there was maybe less as far as investigation, evidence, DNA, social media, all that kind of thing. But David could still beat this thing. David might not get charged. I think that's unlikely. I feel like we are going to see charges soon. But anyway, all right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Let me know what you guys think. I will keep you guys updated, and I will do a couple more videos. Because
I gotta check out the Trap More Ross channel. Trap More Ross. His real name Trap Lord Ross, but I guess that's another channel he put up. But let me see. See what they got going, Benjamin. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. So Kendrick just closed the Drake view. Well, I would like to see this. Kendrick just closed the Drake view. Beef's done.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. He played a mental game with Drake, a mental game of chess, where he convinced Drake, yo, all them songs like push-ups, where you're just popping shit's not gonna work. You're gonna have to get cerebral with me. Start thinking.
Drake's viral on stage meltdown is still echoing across the internet, and Kendrick Lamar wasted no time firing back with a moment that fans say locked the whole feud in place. During a packed show in Los Angeles, Kendrick stopped the music, looked out at the crowd, and delivered a line that sent shockwaves everywhere. With a quick smirk, he told the audience, "We don't break down on stage, we break records." The crowd lost it instantly because everyone knew exactly who he was talking about. Drake's emotional moment in Amsterdam has been replayed nonstop online, and Kendrick's line hit like a direct response without him even naming names. Within minutes, clips of that moment spread like wildfire across social media, with fans jumping into comment sections saying he won forever. This didn't even feel like a lyrical jam. It felt like Kendrick stepping to the front of the stage and confirming what his supporters had been shouting all year. People are saying he didn't even need a new verse. The timing, the confidence, and that sharp delivery did all the talking for him. Meanwhile, Drake's camp has stayed completely quiet, which has only pushed fans to speculate that there's no comeback plan in sight. And to many, the difference between the two artists has never looked more dramatic. One struggling under the spotlight while the other stands firm.
Drake and Kendrick might have never had a beef. Back in 2018, when Pusha T and Drake had a beef, Pusha exposed that Drake had a son who he was keeping a secret. The internet decided Drake had lost that battle.
Oh, that's the
After this,
name.
Drake-
The name of this channel that we reacted to is New Viral Drama. I think that's it. Hold on. Yeah, that's it. New Viral Drama.
made his boundaries clear.
I'm sure I could say something about, your lovely lady or, a child or a family member, and you're just gonna wanna not really rap anymore.
But having learned his lesson from the Pusha T beef, Drake decided to not let Kendrick get the best of him and name dropped his fiance on his song Push Ups.
I be with some bodyguards like Whitney, top say, try your little midget ass, better fucking.
And then each of them went back and forth with one more diss track, but then Drake decided to unload the clip and this whole beef became about dirt about each other's family lives.
Why you never hold your son and tell him say cheese? We could've left the kids out of this, don't blame me.
So without Pusha T, Drake probably would have never brought up Kendrick's family, and this beef may not have escalated the way that it did. What do you
Yeah, the moment he spoke on his family, that's when it got ugly. Like Kendrick was just, we go back and forth, but when you start talking about my family, bro, we gotta end your bag, bro.
Let me know and follow for all updates.
Every move right now seems to push more momentum toward Kendrick, and hip-hop fans are asking a question nobody expected so early in the rivalry. Is this already the end of the Drake versus Kendrick saga? And just when the dust seemed like it might settle, new updates started coming in that could change everything. Reports are circulating that Drake, his team, and even his most loyal supporters are now. It looks like Drake's side might be preparing for their next move, and with tensions climbing higher, the stage is set for one of the wildest chapters modern hip-hop has ever seen. Drake, once viewed as one of the biggest names in the entire culture, is now being labeled as the ultimate Karen, turning a simple rap clash into something nobody expected, a dramatic push for a DNA test. What started as straight-up lyrical competition has now twisted into a world of legal threats, family claims, and questions about credibility that are shaking the entire scene. This isn't just one more back and forth. It feels like the breakdown of an image that took years to build. At the center of everything is a huge question. Have Drake's choices pushed him away from what hip-hop truly stands for? Fans are saying his recent actions feel less like artistic expression and more like a mission to prove something personal, and that's casting a heavy shadow over his legacy. And the fallout isn't staying inside his circle. It's stretching far across the culture and shifting the way people think about these clashes. Traditionally, rap disagreements get settled on wax, not inside a courtroom, and this new direction is raising eyebrows everywhere. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar and his team haven't been flustered at all, and their calm response has created a sharp contrast that fans can't ignore. Instead of diving into the chaos, they're moving with a steady confidence that highlights the difference between focused artistry and pure desperation. This week feels like a major turning point, showing exactly what happens when a superstar built on image runs straight into an opponent grounded in credibility and long-earned respect. This whole situation is revealing something much bigger than a simple back and forth. It's showing who stands on the solid side of hip-hop history and who slipped to the wrong one. At this point, the feud isn't even the main topic anymore. It's about the standards and artistic values that shape the culture from day one.
It sound like Jigsaw on the record. Yo, really need this, really need that. I know something about us. Hey, are you ready now to play Have You Ever? I'm like, what is this guy doing? And then all of a sudden when I'm thinking, all right, cool, like I'm ready to put my thinking hat on for the next joint, he's like, fuck that, we back in the club. I'm like, what? And the joint is fire.
It's brilliant.
Stretching all the way back through decades of music and expression, the weight of this moment is huge because the stakes go far beyond two artists tossing shots. The entire scene.
Yeah, he surgically put that man at a disadvantage.
Is watching closely. One side is out here running wild, images of another man's wife and children trying to create some big gotcha moment that simply isn't there. Drake's camp keeps pushing piles of claims and paperwork like it proves something, but it all comes off like smoke with no real substance behind it. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar's corner has recognized the whole spectacle for exactly what it is. unnecessary chaos that nobody asked for. Instead of matching that energy, they stayed centered on what built their foundation, the music. No outbursts on social media, no messy theatrics, no last-minute stunts, just calm movement rooted in pure artistry. And their response was simple but powerful. They pointed everyone right back to Not Like Us, the record that became the anthem of this entire situation. Fans, peers, and viewers across the culture went right back to that track, reminding themselves where the real strength stands when the spectacle of Drake's public unraveling keeps playing out. Every new attempt to stretch this situation into something bigger than rap only pushes listeners closer to Kendrick's defining message. The more one side gets loud and chaotic, the more fans hit play on the track that flipped this whole feud upside down. And this is exactly why the culture keeps...
That nigga Kendrick came back and just said, Hadouken. And just went right back and
talks, while the so-called Lamo Karen turns this back and forth into a strange hunt for DNA tests.
I'm gonna do a tour, chill, and then go home and chill. That's how Kendrick did it.
Community already made its decision
Crazy.
Loud and clear. In hip-hop, the music speaks louder than lawsuits, louder than stacks of paperwork, and louder than any dramatic distraction someone tries to throw into the mix. Once again, the record is climbing the charts all over again, reminding everyone why it became one of the biggest moments in modern rap history. And here's the part that keeps shaking the conversation.
But I wonder if he had this song in the whole years. Like, this song is a bop. I'm telling you,
He's amazing at making music.
He mentions Family Matters in the song. So it leads you to believe either Drake does have the leak and he got Family Matters early, or them.
What makes us stop to take an image? What makes a millisecond last a lifetime?
Freaking microwave.
No matter what Drake says he's trying to prove with his legal push, the real evidence is happening in front of everyone. The success of Not Like Us has nothing to do with bots, tricks, or machines boosting numbers. It's real demand from real listeners who keep coming back because the song hit the culture in a genuine way. For Drake's supporters, that truth is becoming harder to sit with. Every attempt to protect his image or twist the story ends up bringing more embarrassment, keeping the cycle going. What was supposed to defend his status is now backfiring badly because every emotional moment keeps shining more light on the exact track he hoped would disappear. The irony is impossible to miss. Every time Drake Karen's out, the culture responds by pressing play on Kendrick's anthem even louder. By dragging this whole situation into strange territory, Drake's actions are actually pushing the public to stream Not Like Us even more. Instead of fading out, the track keeps getting louder, stronger, and even more dominant across playlists and charts. Kendrick's side doesn't need fake numbers or tricks. The momentum is coming straight from the culture because Drake's own moves keep breathing life into the song. And that right there shows the huge difference between both sides. One side is filling timelines with endless posts, confusing statements, and layers of desperation that nobody asked for. The other side is giving one clear answer: the music. Fans are pressing play nonstop, lifting Kendrick's track and reinforcing its cultural weight every single day. Not Like Us keeps rising because it feels authentic, and no stack of courtroom filings or social media noise can wipe that out. The more distractions pop up, the more people go right back to the anthem that shaped this whole situation. And when you look at how fans view the music itself, the divide becomes even more obvious. One side is standing on authenticity and real rap energy, while the other is tangled in gimmicks, confusion, and sideshows that have nothing to do with the craft. Putting both sides next to each other makes the contrast impossible to avoid. Kendrick Lamar keeps moving with confidence, clarity, and professionalism, creating moments that actually strengthen his legacy. Meanwhile, the so-called courtside Karen of rap keeps dragging the conflict into odd new directions, making it clear who's building something real and who's chasing temporary validation. For Drake, this whole situation has only led to even deeper setbacks. His reactions keep creating illusions that leave his supporters holding on to a fantasy version of the battle, one that ignores what truly played out. Instead of shifting the narrative in his favor, every strategy keeps backfiring and locking him into the role of the desperate one in the feud. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar is moving in a completely different direction. Every step he takes is guided by...
And it's going higher and higher. Like, Kendrick, man, that man blowing up, bro, after he dusted his ass off.
Professionalism and purpose. And he just wrapped the European leg of the Grand National Tour, his 39th performance. A run many are calling one of the strongest live stretches hip-hop has ever seen. His focus has stayed on the music, not the chaos, not the noise. Even as Drake tries pulling personal matters and family into the conversation, Kendrick refuses to step into that lane. Instead, he strengthens his position by letting the music talk, showing that real artistry doesn't need messy distractions, courtroom drama, or last-minute theatrics to stay relevant. Through discipline, performance, and pure skill, he continues to embody everything hip-hop was built on: respect, talent, and cultural truth. And bigger than all the noise is one fact that can't be denied. Kendrick Lamar just pulled off something historic, something no other rapper, including the so-called Karen of rap, has ever come close to. This achievement has earned nothing but admiration from everyone involved in the journey. SZA and Mustard especially showed major love, publicly thanking Kendrick for giving them the chance to play such an important role in this legendary run. Night after night, SZA and Mustard performed beside Kendrick, and their teamwork helped shape what many now call the biggest rap tour in history. City after city, stage after stage, the momentum kept building stronger, and the energy surrounding Kendrick became impossible to ignore. Fans, peers, and the entire culture poured in praise, and through all of it, Kendrick never broke from his artistic focus. He stayed committed to the music no matter how much chaos Drake tried to stir up. This is exactly what Kendrick meant when he once said, "You can try to manipulate the game, but you cannot fake authenticity." And that message has been proven in real time as the noise from the other side fades out, while genuine reactions and respect keep flowing toward Kendrick's work. The power comes from real people connecting with the art, not from gimmicks or attempts to manipulate the story. That's why outside all of Drake's distractions, the culture has shifted towards celebrating artistry, discipline, and authenticity. The highest praise keeps landing on Kendrick because the impact is real, and the music speaks louder than any attention-grabbing stunt someone tries to throw in the mix. And even before Drake pushed things
It's crazy.
for legal theatrics, tensions were already rising. Through wild episodes of reckless talk and chaotic rollouts, Drake was setting the stage for exactly what we're watching play out now. One artist losing control while the other builds a historic moment. And then there's the strange Pinocchio nickname Drake keeps trying to attach to Kendrick. Even though Kendrick barely posts online, it's clear he knows exactly what's happening because his music and his words show just how tuned in he really is. Kendrick sees everything, but none of Drake's theatrics seem to shake him at all. While Drake keeps delivering long monologues about Kendrick during his shows, Kendrick's silence hits harder than any speech could. That quiet energy seems to frustrate Drake even more, pushing him into emotional moments and rushed decisions that only weaken how people see him. In a time where embarrassment can go viral in seconds, every slip gets magnified instantly. Kendrick refusing to step into that trap is powerful because ever since Like That dropped, he's kept his focus on one thing: the music, the artistry, the message. Nothing beyond that. He hasn't jumped into the chaotic cycle of posting impulsively, chasing attention, or damaging his credibility with petty online drama. The difference between the two sides is impossible to miss. One side is out here scrambling for DNA tests and dragging the feud into a place hip-hop has never seen before. The other side is refusing to waste energy on anything outside of expression, responding only with records, live shows, and pure craftsmanship at the highest level. And that difference is exactly why the culture continues to lean toward Kendrick. His discipline, restraint, and artistry show strength in a way that hits deeper than any viral moment. Meanwhile, Drake's constant attempts at sensational moves only reveal how desperate things have become on his end. In a clash about legacy, it's clear that authenticity will always beat spectacle. And when you look closely at what's happening right now, the entire picture becomes crystal clear. Kendrick Lamar stays locked in on the art, keeping his legendary run alive while only speaking on the Karen noise when it naturally becomes part of the story. His discipline protects the culture, lifting hip-hop higher instead of dragging it down. And every artistic moment pushes his movement forward without losing an ounce of authenticity. His silence hits hard.
Man, hey man, I'm about to get out there live, boy. I've been on here about 3 hours. Y'all kicking me in the Karma Cafe. I want y'all to like, subscribe, share. Definitely hit notification bell. Peace. Man, I'm out.